Hello, guys. Talking through my cool fucking avatar again, you know. And so some of the avatars to let you guys know some of the reason behind it is, for the haters now, uh, is to let you guys know you'll never live that long to look that badass. So here we go with the shits. This is Kev. This is BMBBH, and this is Smoke Show Sundays for I don't know. I think maybe the 15th Sunday in a row, maybe. I don't know. I haven't even counted. I may even be exaggerating. So, uh, it's as simple as someone actually going in my content on my channel and counting how many times they see Smoke Show by something. So, so for those smart asses like, nah, Kev, it ain't 15. It's this number right here. You need to write your shit down. You need to. I'm like, man, stop. Whatever, nigga. Like, y'all got much more time to do this shit than I do. Like, but anyway, how's everyone doing, man? Is tomorrow begins another week for a lot of you guys. Tomorrow begins another day for many of us. Um, Tomorrow might not come for some people, which is the reality because that's every day's reality. And that's our ultimate reality. That's where we're all going to end up one day, whether that day is tomorrow or much later than that. We all hope for much later that we have the time that to do things that we want to get done and we want to get accomplished. But at the same time, there are just certain things that we're not in control of, and some of it may be okay, and uh, some of it is grim as fuck. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. So anyway, welcome to reality. So let me give some shout outs. First off, let me shout out to the replay gang. Yep, the replay gang. Those of you who can't watch this live and in real time, but decided to come back to the channel anyway. Um, thank you very much. Also to you live viewers and to my moderators. In fact, for those of you that are listening right now from now on, the smoke, I mean, just for smoke show Sundays, because I don't know, some crappy kid visited my comment section and said that well, it was in a community tab. Well, it said the reason why you don't, nobody comes to your smoke shows is because you play dumb and you hide behind your audience. So instead of fighting that narrative, I'm just gonna say on Smoke Show Sundays, if you are in the audience, the live chat, you get to throw just about as much smoke as anybody who steps up on this panel. And I would say myself included, but then that would make you kind of an equal to me on this channel. And I mean, the only entity greater than me on this channel as at this point is YouTube. So so that's just the reality of it. So I can't say you'll be equal to me, but almost. We'll say almost. But since people want to say that shit, hey, let's be what they want us to be. I mean, it's not like they can win in this situation because you guys are tenacious enough to, get through anything, that anybody has to throw. Because see, people who I guess have the smoke for the space or will eventually have the smoke for myself, they're at a severe disadvantage. They're so easy to get through. It's like a hot knife through butter. Because one thing is, these may be some really intelligent people, some sensible people, some family people. But what some of these people are not is entertaining. It is what it is. In order for you to ever win against me, and I should not be giving away this secret, is to make me laugh at myself. Hey, it's up to you to trust that. But anyway, uh, D Scott, is D Scott in the building? Dude. Yep, D Scott is here. So is RPM. Well, let me shout out the chat. I ain't even gone through the chat yet. Yeah, Sergeant Faulkner was here. I don't know if he's still here, but this is a shout out to you. Woo! We got Phil Brad. Yeah, he was probably here a little early. Uh, uh, as always, we got Andre 416 Reformed, member of the channel. We have Toya the Tutor. How are you doing? A member of the channel. I applaud you as well. She was on this YouTube channel earlier called the 18th Letter. 18th Letter is hosted by this guy named Rakim. Uh, believe I put the broadcast in my community tab earlier. So it's something different. I don't know if he talks about other things, but he deals mostly in music and cult. As far as our culture and music, but very very some of the stuff that they talked about took me back. So go over there and shoot them a sub and support. We got one of our own over there that work collabs with Rakim, who is the host name on a regular basis. So check them out. The 18th letter. Um, yeah, Longo Savage, what's going on? Long live, long live. Who wants this smoke? I'm putting mofos and verbal arm bars, uh, Darce chokes, uh, RNC, Kimura's. What? You mess with Kev, you mess with me. Shout out to you all. Now, see, who am I to deny hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power his fun? Who am I to deny anybody any fun? You know what I'm saying? We got Weather who comes in here on a regular basis, and he has his fun. So why should anybody else be denied it? But it's kind of one of them. It's kind of one of them enter at your own risk thing because the reason why I'm even going with that kind of scorched earth policy at this point is because I mean people can hate from the outside all day. it's just, it it's an awesome thing to observe, I must say. I mean, it's all this energy, a bunch of motherfuckers saying the same thing. You know how easy that is to complain about the same thing? Everybody in unison. Because that doesn't you know why? Because that means that you don't have to make an effort to fit in that you already fit in. And I'm not saying is that you must make an effort to fit in. What I'm trying to do is eliminate the need to fit in. And that's more gratifying because number one, it puts you in a position to where um, you don't have to give a fuck, and number two, if somebody fucks with you, is because they're fucking with the real you. Is not a front that you had to put up in order to get a person's approval, and that's really much of what I try to say to people. You can keep it absolutely as brutally honest as possible, but remember to keep that honest part in mind. That's what I'm saying. Just being brutal, like so that's what some people think. They just look at the brutal part. They don't look at the honest part. Once you're able to look at the honest part more than the brutal part, bring brutal in it. People think just being an asshole is being brutally honest. Fuck you, bitch. She may not be a bitch, or he may not be a bitch. That's not brutally honest. That's your opinion. So we'll all go through this process together because I'm somebody that does not claim to be perfect himself. I am not a perfect person, and neither are you. And we're all going to end up in the same spot one day, is either taking a dirt nap or being cremated. But what I'm talking about is death. I'm not going to be gloomy tonight, gloom and doom and everything, because death is inevitable. That's the reality. So why are you sitting up here wasting your time with this bullshit instead of doing all this so-called problem solving and coming up with all these solutions? But in reality, some people out there just creating more problems. And that's the kind of bullshit we got to stop. So, hey, let me shout out the members of the channel. Shout out the members. I ain't even got the members pulled up, and I'm like, "Oh, shout out the members." Like I'm queuing myself. Q Kev, Q. uh, yeah. So I'm gonna read the list from bottom to top this time. Andre, 416 Reformed. D. Scott, American Negro. D. Rock Den, Gold Professor, underscore Gold P, underscore GP, exclamation point. Indigo Flow, Toya the Tutor, Zentober, Phil Brad, Aaron P, and Greg. Thank you for all of you guys. Continue support and let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So we got Hybrid. Was good, Toya, Phil Brad, Officer Faulkner, Andre shout out. Yes. Great Manosphere show of the week earlier. Oh, well, thank you, man. You know, that's a that's a nice thing for you to say. Uh, just do that for you guys. And speaking of that, which if you are a content creator that fancies yourself as Black Manosphere, or or if you're black, if you fancy yourself Black Manosphere, or you're on that list that we put out periodically, or you're a content creator that you say you fucks with the Black Manosphere, you know, go ahead and email to the blacklist. Let me see. Let me see. I know I got this written in a vulgar way, but I know it's a heck of a way. Uh, okay, it's just yeah, just that. Let me change that real quick. Sorry, I don't want to come off as like I'm bitching at. Well, in fact, fuck it, fuck it. It's brutally honest. I show y'all whatever fuck I. Okay. If you want off the list, night. Okay, if you want to do the Black Manosphere show of the week, okay, because we had this whole shit spree of people, oh, on the list, so there it is. Just that reference that email address that's on the screen. Right, if you are a content creator, you want to do the Black Manosphere show of the week, um, email that place, blacklist1964.com. The floor is open for distractors to express their criticism. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They can express their criticism, but when here's one thing in the creation of this show that I should have kept in mind is that you know people think that smoke and smoke show is yelling and insults. That's what they believe it is. Is calling each other bitches about 10, 20 times, yelling fuck your family too. And this is they want people want to see a fucking train wreck. So I'm not saying that I'm not open to something like that, but I'm also not desperate for viewership. See, the point of me saying stuff like uh you should have to eliminate the need to fit in is that that's what I do. Everybody fucks with me because of who I am and not some fake ass nigga that I could have portrayed myself to be. So there it is. There it is. So we're 17 minutes in. 17 minutes in already. I hope all of you are pressing like or pressing something or leaving a comment in the chat or just whatever. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. But I guess for these types of shows, we got the usual hate watchers. So this one is for you guys.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze. Damn.
Yes, a couple of people already dislike me, but that kind of shit is celebrated right there. You use your haters, use them, use them. Do like Young Ripper 59 says, monetize them. To have fun all the way around. My daddy can kick your daddy's ass. Okay. Uh, I mean, my daddy's out that game. I can kick that person and their daddy's ass at the same time. Still at that age. This channel is great because it's not an echo chamber. It's as real as it gets. Yeah, it's as real as it gets. I don't want everybody coming up here agreeing with me. Not everybody. Somebody can come up here and agree with the logic that I'm putting out. They can do that. But, you ain't gotta just go on this whole schmooze fest. Oh, okay, if you are the wisest guy on the planet, because I'm gonna know you're full of shit. I'm not the wisest guy on the planet. But just throwing that out there. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. We got Hummer in the building, Ray Hummer, the Hummer Force. Dude, I don't know if I shouted out RPM yet. Yeah, what's good, man? If I didn't, well, you know, many of you deserve two shout outs. Hurry up and buy. What's good? I see you down there. Got hurry up and buy in the building. Hurry up and buy has been here for a long time. I would say probably about 3 or 4 years. Probably in between that. But yeah, he's been around for a while. Appreciate appreciate it. People got to learn how to discourse respectfully, or at least without. Like if they want to come up here and look like that, that's them. I mean, they'll get we live in sort of a niggified era. They get recognition for that kind of shit. Oh man, you sure told them. Oh, you got them in they fifis. And then this is the kind of thing that I please guys don't go for that shit, man. That they're entertained by that. If see the thing, what I'm trying to get a lot of people to do is if you keep control of yourself and take away you losing your shit from them, they won't have anything to feed off of. I mean, but I put a motherfucking check though. Seriously, you ain't nobody's perfect. You don't have to be like that 100% of the time. I'm just saying, just act within reason. Don't take more than I would say 5 minutes. Andre 416 reform says too much effort to fake. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta fake it. You gotta consistently lie and be something else. Because lying is never consistent. I don't know. I mean, they country people run the country lie a lot and seems to work. I don't know. I think that's more because we feel as if we don't have the might to fight that kind of thing. Yeah, and the government is a pretty mighty entity. I mean, shit. Point me to your military force. So I mean, they're about the only entity that can lie to you consistently and get away with it. Everybody else, the little people, folks like me, if I lie to you, I could get caught on my bullshit. I don't have a militia. I don't have an army. So yeah, we're cool here. We're all cool. Shoot. Yeah, saying I'm me. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. And D Scott, you are you, sir. Detroit 313. What's good? Salutations. Salutations. Oh shit. There it go. About time that Bama accent talking uh cool person emoji. I've been in here enjoying my weed. Yeah, shit, I need some weed, man. God damn. I mean shit. I mean, the family matters. The family members that matter. They probably don't. They most of them are gone. So, I can start getting a little bit looser. I mean, I'm not saying it lightly. Rest in peace to those people. Those people who contributed to my experiences and the person that I became today. So, hey, much love. Pour out a little bottled water or something. I don't know. I mean, but with everybody, all my loved ones in the great beyond, you're looking up with a peace sign. So anyway, so what's good, Raven Knight? What is up? Uh, I just want to see a YouTube octagon, blue pill beta male, manginas, aka pets of the succubus queen versus manosphere, traditional masculinity. Look, I know they like that. Ray Hama, I'm just gonna tell you this like this. Let's stick to the reality. Okay, there's a bunch of blue pilled beta simps that like do shit like MMA and they stay in the gym and they grew up rough. A lot of a lot of these a lot of these dudes that stay in these neighborhoods, man, a lot of these pookies, man, they betas as far as the mindset when it comes to relationships. But yeah, man, I'm just the kind of guy is that you know I'm a fighter of sorts. I'm not somebody that's just gonna go out and just swing on folks and be like Goku, like, oh yeah, I just gotta look for who's strong. I'm not that, but it's just that I'm more tactical with it. You know what I'm saying? I never underestimate anyone. It is what it is. If you feel like you got to run into a motherfucker with like a train just to alleviate the situation quickly because you might have other shit to do, that's my suggestion. It's just that just go hard as a motherfucker, let people know where you stand. But I mean, even if they are simps, man, it doesn't mean that they're weak. Yeah, think like a you know we just got to think, man. I found out someone using my name and been offline for 3 months. For real? Does he also come up to the panels and act like he been getting drunk? Because I can explain that to you. I said, if this been a full 3 months, Jesus Christ. As much as seriously, guy, as much as you've been up here in broadcasts, in chats, you wouldn't have first noticed something like that. Like if somebody went around and started using Kev and brutally honest and all that stuff, is I would notice that. There's a much larger YouTuber called Brutally Honest Goodbread. I'm like, okay, hey, I'm friends with the guy on Facebook. I just found out about this stuff, but I don't own the words brutally honest. People can use it. People can use it, but yeah, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, whatever's familiar to me, I notice it. But maybe there's another LaShawn Jefferson. Your name is not as uncommon as you might think it is. They're trying to turn this channel to love and hip hop. No, not as no, 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 no. I don't like the reflection of the reality show. Oh, mm-mm. No, all that love and hip hop, basketball wise, whatever y'all watch these days. So, uh, it's to me that's stranger than fiction. Oh yeah, I didn't even say this on the show yesterday. Yeah, salute to our vets. Our black vets out there. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. Yeah, yeah, salute to them especially. I mean, I'm not gonna cut out the rest of America, for real, for real. But since this is a black themed channel, hey, shoot. But I don't want nobody that's in the white military showing up and being offended. Oh, only the black ones. What about us? Ugh. Yeah, we fought side by side. And then, yeah, did you fight over here to make sure that you did that your black soldier friend was treated as well as you were? you know, but at the same time, I mean, it's 2023. So Zentober, what's going on? Tactics versus emotions. Yeah, we don't want to be caught up in the emotional part about it. Sometimes people just do. Sometimes people do need to get cussed out. Sometimes that's when band director in high school said is you know black people only understand two things, and these two things were an ass whooping and a good cussing out. Words always have stuck with me. And you know why they stuck with me? Because they ring so true in a lot of situations. You try to talk to somebody that you got some goddamn sense and they don't want to listen, they'll default to anything just to get out of what you're saying. Oh, you niggas were slaves. You were slaves back in the day. You were slaves. The white man beat you down. I don't have to listen to you. You broke. I don't have to listen to you. Man, I mean, they'll do it, man. They'll do it. Yeah, I mean, I don't care how many facts, I don't care how many stats you put out there. True, factual, accurate information doesn't matter to a lot of us. Distorting reality. It should bought PS4 and only been watching anime on YouTube. Somehow I'm more, but okay, man. I mean, I think I know what you're trying to say, but it just I don't know, just the optics. I'll just say that the optics. I mean, say LMAO, fuck Goku. I'm on some Kratos shit. I like Kratos. I really do. I like Kratos. I think God of War 2 is probably my favorite God of War game. I haven't played Ragnarok yet, but Kratos ain't fucking with Goku. Nah, nah. I mean, on a power scale thing, I mean, Kratos has slayed gods, but them gods ain't nearly on the level of like Dragon Ball shit, man. I mean, is I mean, I guess that's a debate we can have sometime somewhere else. But um, let me continue to go down this chat and see what you guys are saying. All righty, we got 38 in the building. The best fighters are not quick to fight people. They are disciplined. Yeah, they pick their spot. Or, they don't pick a spot at all. They wait for somebody to try to pick it for them and then they pick them apart. Shoot. Toya the tutor said indeed to something I said. Or it could have been one of you in the chat. Well, she would have addressed you. But, you know, yeah, y'all shout out Toya the tutor. Like, just shout her out, man. She's good people, bro. Give her grace. If you start ish with someone and notice cauliflower ears, keep it moving. That nigga's paid his dues in the world of combat. Hmm. Yeah, Charles Faulkner Jr. Woo! Salute to my fellow vets. Yeah, that says fellow. Don't care what any of you say. And he agrees with Hybrid, says never fight a man with cauliflower ears. To the first Black Panther tank group, all black. Me, okay, man. Look, man. You cool, man, but come on, man. Put them together a little better than that. Dude. But I get what you're saying though. Goku is past God level. Look, I know they have gotten more powerful. There's another argument. If you're talking about the scale of the Dragon Ball universe, but we still haven't seen everything Beerus has yet. We know they can wipe the floor with old Kaioshin, that guy, with the white mohawk. I mean, for some reason, those guys are much weaker than the gods of destruction. I don't get it, but okay. But we still haven't seen full power Beerus. So for those of you, if you know, you know in that audience, but if you don't, Black Adam. Yeah, Black Adam is pretty serious in the comics. Very, very serious. That's blasphemy. Talking down on Goku like that. Man say Goku, no. Okay. I mean, I know people like I've been in a lot of like I said, nerd groups and everything, and motherfuckers they want to nerf Dragon Ball characters so bad. It's like they got everybody beating Goku, even Squirrel Girl beating Goku. And I'm sitting up there like, if y'all talking about bloodlusted characters just trying to kill each other, man, hell no, man. Shoot. Superman can barely fuck with Black Adam. Like that death battle, that way they did him and Goku, like they just nah. Cortez Smith, what's good? Kratos and Goku are based off of us. Talking about black folks, and that is a very easy explanation to make. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I said, I might do like a nerd culture broadcast. Like I would like for somebody like Faulkner to be here, and Faulkner and Ray, and guys like Artisan. Kratos has daddy issues. Yeah, yeah. And his daddy is fucking Zeus, ain't it? Like Sergeant Faulkner, you know what I mean. I told my boy, if you step to a dude with cauliflower ears, you better buy him a drink and say you were just playing. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Give me okay, y'all. Give me 50 push-ups. Man, you remember that time that Goku did the 1 million sit-ups in like 1 minute because he wanted to fight somebody? Like, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Y'all act like just the Flash. Like, okay, okay, keep thinking. Sir Charles thinks that Madden. Cough, cough. Yeah, I got last year's Madden. That shit been beating the fuck out of me. I'm like, and I'm used to like I was used to winning for a while, and then all of a sudden it was like just no. Like the other team is like no, Like I'm throwing like 5 and 6 picks a game. I was like, the fuck out of here with that. But when I go against a human being, that's something different. Yeah, Vegeta in Super was a huge disappointment. Man, you read that moral arc. Like, yeah, that's the one they need to animate. They coming out with some we going back to kids, Dragon Ball story coming out next year. But in the manga for those of you who don't know what a manga is it's a comic book, but it's made in Japan, and they read the covers from like uh where we read our covers front to back, they read theirs back to front. So I mean, it's their country, they do what the fuck they want to do. But we do things our way, they do things their way. But the manga has gone past the tournament of power. Like they went into this guy named Moro. Moro ain't nothing but a rehash of Cell. Like he goes through 3 different forms. He's sucking up people's energy and shit, becoming more and more powerful. Like he's serious with that magic. That motherfucker putting hands through chest and shit. I mean, shit. I mean, he just like that motherfucker don't care, man. Seconds like somebody try to fight him, hand through the chest. I'm like, Jesus, you guys are fucking people up. I mean, but I will see how that would be kind of tough to translate into animated form. Like, what kind of rating would you give that? I mean, they really say in Japan, to tell you the truth, and I was a little perturbed when I heard this, was that Dragon Ball is really a kid show in Japan. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Fuck out of here. Still love Dragon Ball. But Yeah, Vegeta man. Look, the reason why Vegeta loses so much, he'll plateau his power, and then he'll lose a significant fight, is because Akira Toriyama, the creator, does not like him. The only reason why he kept him around is because he was a moneymaker, because he was popular. That's why he always be getting his ass whooped, because he trying to get fans to stop doing that shit. He really wanted to be like Gohan. That's why Gohan's so serious. And like, I didn't when the guy started talking about Dragon Ball. Let me stop. I mean, just just doing something besides, people complain about this too. Because all we talk about is women. That's all they do. Mister, what's good? Detroit 313 Maestro. Oh, you mean Hulk Maestro? That guy? Phew. I ain't like the way they did him in the recent comics, because I thought they were gonna, cause in the comic book, like in the original comic book, Future Imperfect, they made it seem like he actually killed all the heroes. Like when they did this recent run of his origin story, or how he that particular Hulk became the Maestro, the heroes had already died. I'm like, man, if y'all don't get the fuck out of, like, for real, you had me thinking that this man carrying around hero trinkets as trophies and shit. Like he collected all this stuff from motherfuckers he done killed. But when they did, like I said, they did this like what, 4 or 5 years ago. Like yeah, he didn't kill them. They were already dead. That motherfucker poisoned Hercules. I'm like, how you no, like, yeah, you'd have thought he'd have beat him to death. Like, the fuck out of here. Y'all done, man, what they don't. I mean, they've done all kinds of crazy shit with the Hulk then, but yeah. Oh my God. Death Battle even said that Kratos can keep up with Ashura from Ashura's Wrath, and Ashura would defeat Goku. Nah. Shit. I mean, Kratos and Ashura is probably a closer matchup than Kratos and Goku. I would say that. I mean, if you want to really start talking about a really seriously OP motherfucker that now Superman can't handle this guy for real, is the guy that Goku is based off of, Sun Wukong, the Journey to the West. That guy, uh, nah, ain't nobody in comic book, anime, manga, ain't nobody fucking with him. He even got like a evil version that no character is fucking with. Sun Wukong. I mean, look him up sometime. Deadshot is coldest shooter than Zero from X Men. Man, Zero died. I mean, the movie probably made him look like. I mean, unless he was much better in the comics. But I mean, Deadshot, yeah, Deadshot can, yeah, do, like, every time I seen Deadshot portrayed in some type of way, he was always badass. I mean, the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoon, maybe a little bit, but they had so many characters they couldn't really focus on it. But Deadshot's a bad motherfucker. Yeah, so I agree with that statement. Goku is based off, yeah, yes, he is based off Jackie Chan. Yes, the way the character itself is done, you know, uh, yeah, he is based off Jackie Chan, but they take elements from Journey to the West. I mean, you can go just about anywhere and find out that Son Goku, the Monkey Boy, the Three Eyed God, the Shapeshifter, which is that's who Wulong is. Wulong the pig. Uh, there's a couple of more. I think a bandit was in it too. That's who Yamcha's based off of. But yeah, the Goku and his mannerisms and how he fights, yeah, that's based off Jackie Chan. They have so many caricatures of Bruce Lee. Um, yeah, the Monkey King. Yeah, they came out with this movie called The Forbidden. like I don't know. It was a movie didn't do very well. Called The Forbidden Kingdom, I think, and it had Jack. It was a Jackie Chan and Jet Li was in it, but I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling that movie too much. Maybe because I took a girl out on a date. Mm, Maybe that's all I can remember. How dumb a bitch she was, but just not. Now she deserved that comment. She, it's not no on some. Oh, I didn't get the skin shit. And it wasn't no anything like that. It's just that the way the situation eventually would turn out. Yeah, but I remember seeing that. Taking her to see that film. And yeah, it was. They had a depiction of the Monkey King in that movie, and he was just a little silly for me. But the way he was depicted, like he wasn't like the total badass like in Journey to the West. But he was pretty. He was doing some shit though. Man, as I started watching Super, Piccolo was knocked out by a fucking crick. Piccolo turned around and swang. That man was out of there. Even Piccolo, even the look on Piccolo's face was like, "How the fuck did I fall for that shit?" It's a thousand. No, it was like a million sit-ups, man. I don't know. It might have been more than that. If I go find the episode somewhere, but said my mama a veteran. Well, happy Veterans Day to her. Happy belated Veterans Day to her. 2K is the same. If you win too much, the computer gets harder to beat. Yeah, that's called having an AI, an intelligent AI. Yeah, because AI, man, people think in 2023 that AI is just that shit you do to photos. Nah, we talking about full blown Skynet, making your game smarter. They said they had to shut out an AI system. I don't know, it was like two different systems, and they had to shut them down because they started talking to each other in their own language. I'm like, yeah, shit's getting crazy out there. All that technology that they had about 20 years ago, but wouldn't tell us about, yeah, all that shit started to come to fruition. Motherfucking machines talking to each other and shit. The manga is definitely not for TV. Went from Moro to granola. And yeah, because see, like they they made Goku so badass to the point in the moral arc to to the point where it's like ain't nobody beating Goku after this. And then the very next arc, you got a guy that finds a set of two Dragon Balls and wishes himself to be the most strongest guy in the universe. So he get revenge on the Saiyans. I was like, yeah, they had to do it some type of way. I mean, how else were they gonna do it? You got somebody who mastered a divine form. Oh yeah, we just gonna have somebody wish they were the strongest. He has all this other stuff, cool stuff like he can sense how motherfuckers gonna move, and he has a really good eye. He can shoot motherfuckers with from miles and miles away. Like I'm for real, they find the craziest shit to try to move these stories along. Oh, here we go. When I was younger, I confused manga with hentai. Oh shit! Hey, what you do when you find the hentai? So when I talked about manga and mentioned hentai, I would get weird looks. Yeah, yeah, rightfully so. So man, I was reading hentai the other day, man. Shoot, I mean, for real. I mean, I used to like long time ago, back in the day. This was not anywhere in recent memory or anything, or in the present or something like that. When I used to look at X videos, they used to have little hentai set up on there, little hentai cartoons. Man, they be doing the weirdest shit. I was like, God damn, tentacle monster, but all the tentacles look like penises, and he overtakes the woman and does this thing uh, like this is you. The reason why I mention that is not only because of your comment, is because this is what actually goes on inside people's heads. This is what, man. If I was a cartoon artist, I'm gonna draw a monster with tentacles, but all the tentacles don't have penises on. Like, where, like seriously? Yeah, so yeah, I'm glad you got that clarity. I hope you got that clarity soon after that. Oh shit, they thinking I'm some type of freak, or something, Andre 416 Reform. Man, that Broly movie. Now the first Broly was like the one that came out back in the day was bad enough. Like Goku got that one lucky punch and that was it. The man did like Superman. One punch took like, come on, man, because they wasn't beating that motherfucker. Like not old Broly, but this recent Broly. Ugh. Like they made it to where if he builds up too much energy inside himself, he'll explode and kill himself. So he's constantly shooting shit at him. You know what I mean, like, and plus, they try to hit him. They ain't really nothing he can do to him. He just kind of eats that fist and then just starts shooting at him again. Like, shoot, Goku and Vegeta only had a few seconds to get out of there, but Frieza took that ass whooping for an hour. I was like, Jesus. I'm like, it just shows the. I guess it just shows the toughness of Frieza. Yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever that means. Compared to other animes, Dragon Ball is a kid show. It'll always be a kid show. LOL. Yeah, but we American show thought that was some badass shit they were doing. Especially when Piccolo shot Frieza through the chest, and then they were killing kids on there. Because it is, I mean, for real, like you gotta admit, man, that's a little extreme. They go to Namekian village and they killing all like they don't give a fuck how old you are. They just gonna kill you, and then they gonna show it. And then you gonna have one of them just get their neck broke. Like dude fucking with him and then disappear behind him, grab his neck and just snaps it. That's not for kids, man. I ain't never seen that shit on a He-Man cartoon when I was a kid. Shoot, they barely killed they didn't kill Transformers to Transformers the movie. Shoot, that kid show shit is highly debatable. And it's supposed to be a smoke show. I'm supposed, yeah, I'm supposed to be like, yeah, time to get down, folks. Yeah, let me open up this panel. Let's just have some fun. Maybe somebody come in with some fuck shit. Words that sound right, put together when you come from Alabama. Remember that. Maestro got his ass kicked, but yeah, he got his ass kicked by Hercules. He had to poison Hercules. The Hulk had to poison somebody to beat him. The Hulk. Like the fuck. But I guess that added to his menace, though. What's good, all?
So, how the hell is Naruto a kid show? When the premises of Naruto is that you have a village of hidden ninjas who who sacrifice 12-year-old kids who sacrifice themselves for the glory and the honor of their village during war. Sounds like modern day politics, doesn't it?
Yeah. It is always has some underlying message. When they create something, they try to make it relate to something that's going on in real life. Like Japan, here, like Hiroshima. That's the concept of where Godzilla came from.
Godzilla, you get Godzilla, you got the mech suits. It's kind of weird when people be like, "Well, your favorite superhero was Superman." I said, "Yeah." They're like, "Why?" To have that much power and to help people, you're a hell of a man. That's why. And
Yeah.
most people, you could tell people. Usually, you could tell people's age when they like Goku fans. I'm like Goku, man. Goku would probably not get along because he's actually a horrible parent, and he makes really fucked up decisions that cost a lot of people. Between him and Vegeta, I would have killed them a long time ago. I would like. I'm like, God damn, like, y'all the reasons why a lot of shit like happened. Fuck Vegeta during the Cell Saga, man. I mean, and then fuck Goku during the Cell Saga.
Yeah, because I mean, they'll explain like they'll explain it like they constantly change direction of the story. Like Vegeta was supposed to die in the Saiyan saga. Krillin was supposed to run him through with that sword and get rid of him.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but they kept him around.
he- here's my shit. Nobody would have. Every Earth would have been in peace. You, a lot of the shit wouldn't have happened. And I'm just thinking to myself, the tournament of power is because of Goku's fuck ups. Like, how
Yep.
do you have this? Why are you even friends with this nigga? And by the way, when people talk about, well, Superman's a simp, the fucking Joker killed his wife and his unborn child. Are you gonna be a nice man? You gonna be this? Oh my god, I don't even
That,
want
that
to.
version of Superman is the guy that shit still fucked up no matter what he did, and he going around protecting everybody. He couldn't protect the one thing, and technically two people that that meant the most to him. And I guess he just got tired of the joke, Batman letting the Joker go.
I mean, once again, I swear to God, Arkham is the politics of Gotham must be based on real world because they have a revolving door policy or some shit. Because god damn, I think send these motherfuckers to prison. How can you escape this so-called maximum security fucking? There's no fucking reason a guy like the Joker or Two Face should be living. They should have been executed. Like god damn.
Let me get out here and kill this building full of people. Batman, if you had just killed me, you could have prevented all of this. Yeah, how much blood is on Batman's hands for real?
There's a lot. There's a reason why I respect Wonder Woman. You fight her, she's decapitating you, man. She's gonna fuck you up.
Oh yeah,
And
famous scare don't play that shit.
yeah, it's a mascara. Their laws don't play that. Like, I'm sorry. Wonder Woman was right. She's like, you know why Bruce has a lot of villains? Because I actually deal with mine. Like, you think she gonna fuck around and take the cheetah to fucking Arkham? The cheetah when she invokes number one, her villains are even more horrifying than Batman's. Hit the light. I said, first and foremost, do you know how she becomes the cheetah? She has to sacrifice somebody's blood to this fucking ancient plant god and invoke the spirit of the cheetah. Basically, she becomes a fucking wild animal. She can't take that motherfucker to Arkham. She gotta fight that motherfucker tooth and nail because the cheetah's trying to legitimately kill her. I'm like, oh man, people like, well, Batman got the classic Rose Gallery. You got a bunch of PhDs who lost their jobs, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just like, yeah, Frieza's supposed to. It's either out of Frieza or Gohan, but most likely it's gonna be probably Frieza because I don't know what the stories because Frieza just bitch slapped Goku and Vegeta. I mean, rightfully so. You
yeah,
dumb motherfuckers.
yeah. Let me explain that comment. Hybrid said one of my coworkers said Frieza ends up being the strongest. Yes. Here's what happened. You know how he trained 4 months and became Golden Frieza. He trained 4 months and became Golden Frieza. What happened was, after he got his ass handed to him by not in the tournament of power by Jiren and by Topo, uh, um, what happened was he found this pocket dimension that was like the room of spirit and time or the hyperbolic time chamber, and he spent 10 whole years in there just training, like 4 months to become Golden Frieza, and then spend so. If his power increases that much in 4 months, imagine what it's done in 10 years.
They wouldn't be able to touch him, and he was naturally stronger than them in the first place.
Yep. Yep. And then this motherfucker became Black Frieza. And see, the big mystery is he spared Goku and Vegeta.
And the big mystery is, can he use the word nigga?
Probably now.
Probably. I mean, he's
I mean,
black.
you call them monkeys. I don't even think he called them monkeys. Like
I
when he
want to
showed
call.
back up.
I want to see an anime where Frieza and Uncle Ruckus team up.
Ooh, let's get them niggas.
You remember
Call
the
them niggas and monkeys.
remember the old Dragon Ball anime World's Strongest? I
Yeah, I
want to
remember.
hear universe is racist. I want to be who's the most racist in the universe.
Yeah. Uh, 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 what the most races in the universe? What you talking about the world? Like the world's strongest, the one with the big brain with the robot, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's probably one of the best movies. That and Dead Zone.
Yeah, oh, the first two.
Yeah, that was one of the best movies. I mean, the best ones were the legendary Super Saiyan, Dead Zone, and World Strongest. And you can somewhat say the Tree of Might. Um,
Yeah, because the Broly second coming it was I
it was okay.
Bio Broly. I mean,
Bio Broly sucked,
yeah, I
and
mean
not even good.
it was the
Not,
outing for the kids, but
so wait a minute. Goddamn, Frieza just proved to us 10 years a nigga.
what is it free? He is a nigga.
10 years a nigga, boy.
Hey,
He
but we got Andre 416 up here, man. What's going on, man?
What's up, Andre? Yes, yes,
What's
yes.
up,
I'm still
man?
doing my anime live stream. So look out for that and check your local listings.
Word. Yeah, if I'm available, I will definitely be up there.
We're gonna. I think I'm gonna start a comic book and anime and sports channel as well. Uh, but what's up, Andre? Um,
Not much. So,
I think that like guys, my age and yours as well, Kev. There's, we love the movies, but I hate it when people who just watch comic book movies try to explain shit to me about comic book characters. I really think that's disingenuous as fuck. Like, y'all didn't know the struggle back in the '90s when Superman died.
Oh yeah, one of the biggest comic book events ever, and they have no hope. The way they're writing right now, they have no hope of reproducing something like that. I
Oh, that
mean,
was classic. A Nightfall when Batman, that was a classic when he had to go back into training when Bane broke his fucking back.
oh man,
I
like
mean,
what happened was they said that Arkham, like it was an orchestrated plot. They released all the bad guys in Arkham. Batman had to go catch all of them and put them back in Arkham. Then he come home, Bane sitting right there.
and he's gotta fight Bane, basically Batman on literal steroids, super steroids. I think what was another good story they came out with? Court of Owls was probably the. I'm gonna put it to you this way: for all you comic book fans, the best book writing in the last 5 years of comics, well, in the last 10 years now, was the comic book Injustice, the comic book version. I think the comic book
Oh yeah.
and the game version is better than the. It's the first time ever the book is way better than the movie because first and foremost, there's a reason why Superman, it's hard to beat him because he does not kill his foes. He actually has to think and develop techniques on how to beat them. So he has to learn how to fight. So Superman does have fighting skills. And what did he tell Ultraman? He says, "You kill all your friends. You can kill all your enemies." He says, "You never had to develop your skills." So this motherfucker hit him in the throat, hit him with pressure points, did all kinds of nasty shit, put him in a rear naked choke, threw him to the bottom of the sea. Like, god damn. I mean, look at the one of the greatest single issue books ever. And guess what? It's a Superman book. Superman versus the Elite. Still there, Kev?
Yeah, I'm still here. You're the elite. You talking about that group with Manchester Black?
Yeah, Superman versus.
Okay.
Tell me one issue that's been in the last 25 years that's better than Superman versus the Elite. That was one of the. That was. I'll give you 30 years. That was one of the greatest single issue books ever written. Beautifully written. And they said, "What's the point about truth and justice?" And so he showed you how vicious he could get if he chooses to be.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Superman is probably like the most pulling his punches guy ever, unless it's somebody like a Doomsday.
And
uh,
the only one who holds back almost as much as him is Spider Man.
yeah, Spider Man holds back too. Spider Man could be fucking motherfuckers up, but
Spider Man let loose one time, bodies are hitting the floor. I remember they had this one comic book like where it was back in the late 70s, early 80s, when you know how they used to do those cheesy things, like when Superman meets Spider Man and he's going up against Wonder Woman. Yes, Wonder Woman is stronger and probably faster, but he turned off all the lights. He turned the power off and the lights went out. And he said, "All I got to do is just use my spider senses to dodge you, and I'll pick you apart in the dark."
said in the dark. Oh shit. Yeah.
But even and I'm
Even
like,
with even with like books like Death in the Family,
yeah, that was a good story.
very iconic. You know, people they had a hotline. Is it let Robin live or kill
Oh
her?
yeah, I remember that. I
People,
was a little boy when that happened.
man,
Let him live or let him die, and they said it was like what from anywhere from 1 to 10 votes, the difference.
damn.
Like
And Joker beat him with that crowbar.
beat the shit out of him. I mean, here's another book that was pretty good. Believe it or not, Thor, Gore the God Butcher. That story arc was pretty good. That was pretty good, and Jane Foster Thor.
Jane Foster Thor was actually one of the good stories.
Yeah,
Okay, because it's probably because of that element of cancer. But the thing is like that's why people were so disappointed in the movie.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like you weren't too much fucking with Gordon the Guard Butcher for real on some
Gore the
on,
God Butcher should have been. You should that should have been a 2 to 3 movie arc right there because that should have been like okay, like Thor really had to go back in time and see his younger self. You could have got his younger brother to play his younger self. You know, you could have got put him in makeup and played his older self, the King Thor. And I mean, the Thor series, I think they did Thor dirty, and you could tell who was the guy who's the head of Marvel Studios. Feige?
Stan. You talking about Stan Lee?
No, Feige.
Kevin Feige. Oh yeah, Kevin Feige.
I think he was pissed off with Thor because Thor is like Superman in DC. He's when you call. He's like when a superhero needs 911. You call that motherfucker. Like when Thor shows up, you know the shit's getting serious. Like I don't have the same. Thor's not a. I don't look for Thor for comedic relief. That's Spider Man. Like he's supposed to have the one liners and the quirks. Thor is not supposed to be this. He's supposed to be. I come and I fuck shit up and I drink a lot of liquor.
Like I told
He's
myself I
not.
wasn't gonna watch fucking Thor: Love and Thunder, but I watched like half an hour of it. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
When he's doing Jean Claude Van Damme splits, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Then they
And
tried
he
to
didn't
make him
even
some.
have his hammer in that.
Yeah. Then they tried to make him into some. Like they made him into a fucking idiot.
Yeah, like you got to think about it, right? I know that's his actual Chris Hemsworth daughter that he was rescuing. That's his actual real life daughter, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And why would I give my daughter Stormbreaker, which is the more powerful weapon than Mjolnir? Why? Because have you ever noticed? It's like to this day, believe it or not, I still have not seen Wakanda Forever.
Oh, you haven't watched it?
I
The
skipped
only
that
part
movie too.
I think the only part I'm gonna go see is Killmonger's part. I'm supposed to believe that Shuri, who's smart enough to read. Okay, get this, because this is where I know it's bad writing. Marvel, you should have recast.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, they should. They
Mark,
should.
if
That
you got if it right now, if you could go through time travel and go through multiple universes where the characters don't look the same, you could have got. You telling me, God damn, you could have got an older version of T'Challa or whatever. Why is Michael John White never Black Panther?
Like
well.
apparently when he died,
Go ahead, Andre. I'm sorry.
apparently when he died too, there was a petition with like a couple 100,000 signatures, and they still didn't recast him.
This man family said it was okay to recast.
He will want you to recast. If I played an iconic character and I'm dying of X disease, God forbid, or creators, ancestors, whoever forbid, the greatest way you can honor me is keeping the character alive. You don't give. I can understand if they would have. Let me explain this part, folks. The Shuri in the comics is way different than the Shuri in the movies. Shuri in the comics was a motherfucker. If there was no T'Challa, she would have been Black Panther, and not a goddamn thing would have been questioned. She was trained from a child to be just as good as T'Challa as a warrior. That made sense, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if she had the same warrior training, yeah, that would make sense.
But this Shuri did not.
Well, she didn't. She was just instant. She was just instantly the fighter. I mean,
Why would we give you, and by the way, this makes no sense, and I'm a military guy. Shout out Veterans Day, fellow veterans. Why would, if I'm facing Atlanteans who are naturally several times stronger than earth dwelling, land dwelling humans, and I can fucking synthesize the fucking heart shaped herb, I'm giving that shit to everybody, not just one motherfucker. By the way, why didn't you give it to M'Baku? Why didn't you give it to Okoye? Two of your best fucking warriors. Wait a minute. I'm not as good as a fighter as M'Baku. You think if M'Baku had the fucking the Panther serum and his shit, you think he wouldn't be wrecking shop?
man, 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 yeah. But they turned around and they fired Okoye, and in the Disney Marvel universe, if you're a man, you can't be that strong or that smart. So
No, and they made him look
Yep.
like an idiot. The only good saving grace, from what I read, they made him the king of Wakanda by default. And and by the way, because I'm an artist and a writer, this is how I know. And what's the director of the fucking Black Panther series?
Ryan Coogler, and let me say this: Ryan Coogler, from what I hear, wanted to recast. I mean, they made him publicly say, well, there'll be never be another Black Panther like Chadwick and all this other shit. But he actually wanted to recast. He wanted to make a father son trilogy. You know,
Number one, here's my gripe with that. Shame on you. I understand why you did it. There's a lot of black people who needed the money and the work. I get that. But here's where it fucked up. Why would T'Challa, per your first script and your second script, why would he go back to the afterlife to ream his father's ass out about leaving Killmonger, and he does the same to his own goddamn son? I'm gonna leave you in fucking Haiti when I got the most technologically advanced country on earth. I'm gonna leave your black ass in Haiti. What fucking and
because
I
woke, because woke. That's why. Because
and then
they want to establish this. They want to establish this overall narrative that black fathers aren't there for their children.
I swear to God,
I pretty much wrote Wakanda Forever off as like some empowerment type movie.
Yep.
Notice, why are all the women fighting? First of all, in the comics, the Dora Milaje is not the army. They're not
They're
the
the
military.
personal guard
They're
of
the
the king.
they're the they're the they're the personal guard and the what are they called? The ceremonial wives to the king. They're not the military. Wakanda has a separate military. Jesus Christ.
Well, they had that Victoria Alonso, and she would end up getting fired eventually because she screwed everything up. Now there's this rumor out there that they're going to use Secret Wars to reboot the entire universe.
Yeah, that's what
But
I think.
yeah, but the thing is, I don't even know if I had that much faith in that.
I
Yeah,
really don't.
yeah, because I mean they did all this universe building for 3 phases, all this universe building, but then phase 4 wrecked all of it. And
Uh,
I mean, don't get me wrong. You got Spider-Man: No Way Home. Yeah, Spider-Man: No Way Home. You had Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You could possibly throw the Loki series in there, but everything else, man, it's got a kink in the armor, like Eternals.
well, I'm gonna tell you why, Kev, is because if you look at the first three phases, right? Well, we could go phase four is what? What starts phase four? Is that Spider-Man No Way Home? That's everything from Endgame on down, which is what, phase three or four? I forget. Um,
Endgame was
look,
the end of. I mean, I think Spider-Man: No Way Home was the end of phase 3.
like, put it to you this way: smoking this goddamn cigar.
Wait, No Way Home was after Endgame, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. Wait a minute, wait. Or was it Far From Home? Because remember, everybody came back from the blip on Far From Home, right?
yeah,
I think it's No Way Home. I think that's the
no
second
way.
one. I'm not 100% sure.
No, the point that I'm making is this: look at this. Look at the titles of each story. Captain America: Winter Soldier, classic storyline that brought Cap. It was one of the best Cap stories in the last 20 years. Um, you had what's the other one? The Infinity War, which is based off the Infinity Gauntlet, which is a classic. You had all these classic stories. You had Age of Ultron, which, trust me, Age of Ultron had nothing to do with the movie. Age of Ultron was dark
Uh,
as fuck
yeah, it was dark as fuck, and he was able to incorporate adamantium into his
into his arm.
Mako.
Yeah,
Yeah, which
Age
took
of
a lot
Ultron.
away. It took a lot away from the character of the second film, but yeah.
Yeah, Age of Ultron. Um, what was another one? Well, Ragnarok was supposed to be. Ragnarok was Ragnarok was very thought provoking but dark. But the movie, yeah, it only was title only. So they went by stories that were guaranteed hits. Now, what are they going by? They're going by guesses. They're throwing shit up. When you had She Hulk twerking with Megan the Stallion,
I didn't watch that show. There was nothing for that.
that, that
I didn't make. I like the Gamma Power characters. I like all the Gamma characters. I like Hulk. I like Abomination. I like She Hulk in the comic book.
in the
You know,
comic, John Burns' run of She
I'm
Hulk.
talking about the show.
John Burns' run of She Hulk is the classical character for me. She's one of the greatest Avengers of all time. Even Wizard magazine. I know I'm going beyond a lot of people's
yeah,
shit.
I remember Wizard. Yeah,
Even Wizard magazine said you're not going to have a good book unless you have these characters in the Avengers: Cap, Thor, Iron Man, She Hulk, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Jan Van Dyke. And I mean, which is the Wasp. Who else? And Hercules. Hercules is a great Avenger. One of I mean, hell, Hercules was 10 toes down for Captain America during the Civil War event, which is another book they had success off. Thank you, Marvel, for making these movies. I have my the little plastic graded those little grades of 9.8. I have a 9.8 of Civil War 1 in my collection. It was worth like two to $300. When Civil War the movie came out, it's now worth like $1,000, $3,000.
Oh, nice.
So that's the one thing I like about the movies. They make the comics that I have in my stash more expensive. Like for example, when the first Guardian of the Galaxy movie came out, Rocket Raccoon's first appearance was in the Incredible Hulk comic. Um, that was worth about what $20 to $40. When the first Guardians came out, it's worth $20,000.
Yeah, the
Damn.
first the first team, the first Guardians of the Galaxy team was the one that was way off in the future, like in the year 3000 or some shit.
Yeah, when they had a lot of characters, like that was like I know what you're talking about when like it's like 1,000 years in the future and shit.
Yeah. Vance Astro was the leader of the team, and he had the Venom symbiote, but it wasn't the Venom symbiote anymore.
Yeah, and they even had Captain America's shield back then.
Yeah, Captain America shield, and then they had a Wolverine descendant and Sabretooth descendant. Like Rancor was the
Yeah,
Wolverine descendant. Uh, yeah, female character, but then you had Yondu, I think, was on the team.
yeah,
You know,
Yondu was on there, but he looked totally different. But
yeah,
he still had the blue skin and the mohawk, but he looked different.
yeah,
He had an actual bow and arrow instead of just the arrow. Matter of fact, it was like 1,000 years in the future, and Wonder Man still lived. Like, there's a lot of characters they could have had at least Disney shows over that would have been pretty good.
yeah. But they make shit to prove a point these days. They don't really care what is cool or what the fans want. But we leave all that shit in the '80s and the '90s.
Like I never read a lot of comics, but I thought the Guardian series was pretty good though.
Yeah, the Guardians. Well, the person who had the best trilogy out of a single character was Captain America, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Um, the first movie was okay. Civil War was the shit, and
Winter Soldier is probably
Winter Soldier,
arguably, I would
Winter
say Civil
Soldier,
War is in the top five of MCU films.
Winter Soldier is the for a single character. Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie made.
Yeah.
It is. You can't put anything else. I'm not talking about the teams. I'm talking about single characters.
Single characters. Oh yeah, Winter
You,
Soldier. I would
Winter
definitely agree
Soldier.
with that.
Winter Soldier was so good you forget that you're watching a superhero movie because it gave you that James Bond espionage feel to it, which that's what the comic book was about. He was a super soldier and a spy. And I've always said this: Winter Soldier was Marvel's version of the Dark Knight.
Oh, I mean, I probably would agree with that.
That's their version of the Dark Knight. Um, there's, I'll tell you one thing about DC shows on HBO Max or now Max. I like the Titans show. They might have their agendas in there too, but at least it's a lot more adult. It's a lot more edgy.
Yeah, I
Any
like that show too.
anytime the first episode, Robin's kicking the shit out of some guys before he turns into Nightwing. He says, "What about Batman? Fuck Batman." And that just lets you know the tone of the story. And I think that edginess actually made it more relatable. Even
Yeah, that show was pretty
the
dark.
chick who plays Starfire is bad as a motherfucker too, by the way. But go ahead, Andre.
Oh no, I was just saying that show was pretty dark.
I like it. It made sense. Um, I like to officially, my geek and nerdism. I have my PhD in geek, comic books, and nerd and anime. I like to
Nothing
say
wrong with that.
once again, fuck Cartoon Network, fuck you, and fuck you. Every time Cartoon Network has a good series, like the 2002 He-Man, the 2012 Thundercats remake, and Young Justice, you cancel it. But oh, you sons of bitches got it 15 different versions in Ben 10, and I'll give it right. Omniverse was good, but everything else was shitty.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of Cartoon Network, as far as what's original to them. I'm thinking about Powerpuff Girls and
For girls, Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo, and Dex- my
Courage, the Cowardly Dog, Ed and Eddie.
and Dexter's Laboratory. Dee Dee, Dee Dee, get out of my laboratory. But I mean, but those were, but the best things, the best shows to come out of them. Even though I do love the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter and Courage. The best shows to me, because by the time a lot of those shows, I was a teenager. When I was an adult, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited were great. Spinoffs of course, Batman the animated series, probably the greatest animated series of all times. Challenge me on that, motherfuckers. Um, and Superman, the Avengers of Superman. Those are spinoff. Justice League spinoff of that. The He Man, I think everybody would like it because it was a nod to the '80s version. We don't talk about the '90s New Adventures of He Man. No, we don't.
Yeah, we gonna keep that one locked away. I mean, cause see, I was a kid that actually used to get those He-Man action figures for Christmas, and then when I saw the New Adventures of He-Man, I was like,
No.
nah.
No. My He Man does not have a fucking ponytail.
and then,
Yeah,
then
Rod, you're
canonic,
right about that.
and canonically, it was supposed to be the same He-Man. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me.
Supposed to be the same one. And yes, Toya, I do like Rick and Morty and Adventure Time. Well, Adventure Time is more my that's more one of those cheesy things when I was when I would just yell in the room to my son when he was like 5, "What time is it?" And he yells, "Adventure Time."
Mr.
But
Pickles,
Mister,
Mr. Pickles, you are dark.
you are dark. You like that dark humor, Toya.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Regular
mean,
show was me. Regular show was me and my son's shit, or as he used to call it, Rick and Morty. And regular show was actually dark. Um, they actually said in regular show one time when he actually told Mordecai told Rigby, "I'm pissed off," and I had to rewind that shit. I was like, "What?"
hey, yeah. Let me read this super chat. Son is hot raw. Appreciate it. Said Batman has always been jealous and insecure of Superman. He hides his jealousy and insecurity behind him being a global threat.
And that makes sense.
Sounds like it to me.
Well, it makes sense, being a sun god, that Raw is, and
Yeah, and just Batman is all like I guess he's always prepared, as people say. Because Superman is basically a god on the planet Earth. There's the second, and Injustice showed this. The second he decides that he wants to turn it up on the people of Earth, we're done here.
I'm surprised he didn't do it sooner. Be like, "Ah, humanity, you're fucking up. You're fucking up." Gotta get some ice for the strawberry cognac.
She said, she said, Squid Billy's anyone. Toy the tutor.
Squid Toya, you have a lot of lowbrow humor, even though I do like squidbillies.
Oh man.
Toya, real. I bet you get to know Toya. She probably can tell you a few good dirty jokes.
Hmm. Oh,
That,
that's
oh, you got the good liquor. Listen to this. You heard that?
Oh yeah. That's the top you got to pull off. That's not.
Even though I'm not afraid to get the corks, the screw off either. That should be hitting. Shut up.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna
Oh, yeah.
put a little strawberry, in that cognac. And then just to hit it a little bit more, we're gonna put some Strong Island iced tea in that motherfucker.
So you
You
guys
know,
finished Loki?
like my man Fred Sanford say, I put champagne with ripple, champagne.
So you guys finished Loki?
That's how you know it feels good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay, that
Charles,
shit is on the rocks.
have either of you guys finished
Damn,
Loki?
that shit good. I'm gonna tell you
You don't
what
hear
your
me?
Squidbillies is a. Robot Chicken is probably what everybody thinks, but don't want to say in public. Mm-mm-mm. Well, what was your favorite story arc of comics, Kev?
My favorite story arc, probably World War Hulk.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. That's Planet Hulk, from Planet Hulk to World War Hulk. Yeah, it was. Yeah, cause see, my favorite comic book character is the Hulk.
He's my he's my second or third. Well, I'll put it to you this way. I'm so bougie with my comics, I got to go to certain eras. Number one, Superman. Number two, Professor Hulk. The '90s Hulk was cool as shit with the Pantheon and all
You,
those people.
you talking about the one that got one shot at by Superman?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was the first time that the Gray Hulk personality, the Green Hulk, and Banner ever worked together to form one singular intellect. But then it turned out to just be another incarnation of the Hulk. There are like Bruce Banner is basically a schizo,
yeah.
and he got all these different Hulks inside of him. And some have come to the surface, some don't want to come to the surface.
Some,
Some
some,
he has to prevent from coming to the surface.
some. Thank God they didn't, because I think the Immortal Hulk series is pretty good as well. The Immortal Hulk, what they're doing with that is pretty good. They actually did the 40th anniversary. I think the 50th anniversary of Thor versus Hulk, and now in the comics, Thor is king of Asgard, but instead of having the power of like a wild storm in his hammer, now he has Odin living in his hammer, so he has all the powers of Odin in his hammer. So that's a good dialogue. Shout out to I forget the guy who created Angela, and when he went over to Marvel, he kept, because Image, shout out to Image for being creators' rights comic book company. He took Angela, and now she's part of the Asgardian pantheon.
The one that was the one that Spawn used to beat. Well, no, she almost beat Spawn actually.
Yeah, she almost beat Spawn.
Yeah, yeah, Spawn. Yeah, love Spawn, man.
And
Spawn's one of my favorite characters too.
yeah, and that's why it's funny. I actually have an autographed hardback copy of Invincible from the
Oh
creators.
shit. Oh shit. Old Robert Kirkman.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Robert Kirkman's sitting on some money because first he made The Walking Dead successful,
yeah,
then then Invincible.
yeah. So he's got a cash cow, and I mean, let me tell you how deep I go into my comic book lore. I have Wonder Woman #1 from 1986 when they rebooted the universe, to Wonder Woman 500 and Justice JLA versus Avengers hardback edition, signed by, may he forever rest in peace, George Perez. And I even have the hardback copy of Muhammad Ali versus Superman from, may he also rest in peace, Neil Adams. And I tell you, it's a blessing that I got to meet those guys. They're the coolest motherfuckers ever. And I used to meet Neil Adams a couple of times at cons, and he would always remember me. And my son and his best friend would go. I would take them with me, and they would bump into the table, and his wife would go with him. So hey, shout out to his wife for being supportive. And I was like, I'm so sorry they bumped into the table. They're like, no, no, no. It's like it reminds us of our grandkids being there. And he would call me every time Neil Adams would see me. He always nicknamed me Arms. So he was cool. We would just sit down and talk about the business, the industry, the art. And by the way, you wouldn't have Power Man or Luke Cage the way you have them if it wasn't for Neil Adams. By the way, and you wouldn't have a Black Green Lantern either.
Oh, John Stewart, player,
Yeah.
player.
So Neil Adams would put people don't know this about Neil Adams. He put a lot of prominent black comic book characters there because he's like, wait a minute, I got friends who were very strong and great people who are black. Why can't we have kids look up to characters who look like them? So a lot of people you would never guess actually supported, the imagery of black people being in comics and movies. So hey, when you go to your comic book conventions, go shake your artists and writers' hands.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. They're people.
they're
Uh,
people. Down to listen to their stories because sometimes the backstory of your favorite character is like pro wrestling. Sometimes the backstories are better than the shit you see on TV.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm a guy that's watched plenty of shoot interviews with wrestlers. They
Oh
say,
yeah.
man, they say some shit you wouldn't believe, man, about what they
Oh,
used to do on the road.
oh, yeah. I remember when I took my son. Me and my son met Ric Flair. Mm. My son was acting shy. He was real little, and he was like, come on to say hello to the champ, little man." My son didn't even know who he was. I was like, the guy who goes, "Woo!" My son was like, "Woo!" Oh yeah, that's him. Okay, okay.
Hell, Rick Flair. They say, man, like depending on where you at, like in Charlotte, man, you likely to run into Ric Flair on the random,
Yeah,
especially places like the gym.
yeah.
But he does need to sit his ass down though. It's over with, bro. They
Nah,
said they said the last he tried to wrestle a retirement match. He was really supposed to retire, that WrestleMania where HBK retired him, but he ain't want to stop. They said that man passed out 2 times his last match.
yeah.
And people be like, "Oh, wrestling's fake and all." No, I mean, there's some aspects of it that is real.
Oh, you gotta. When people say it's fake, you gotta remember it's choreographed, not fake. Okay. If you and I got into a match, if we don't do everything we're supposed to do, there's a high propensity for injury. So you have to literally be trained and athletic to do that shit. You're still an athlete. It's like look at the NFL. You want to tackle a guy, but you know you don't want to hurt a person where they can't continue. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Toya says there's a huge amount of physicality that goes into wrestling. Yeah, if you go out there and you don't perform well, you will not only lose the crowd, you will lose your job.
yeah, you
Like, yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of physicality, but there's a lot of storytelling that goes into it as well. Like, yeah, I said this before. Ken Shamrock, who has wrestled in WWE,
fought and fought
he's
in.
wrestled in total nonstop action wrestling. He's also an MMA fighter. He was one of the first fighters to ever compete in the UFC.
The Pioneers. He was the two-time super fight champion, fought in UFC one, and he also holds the distinction of being not only the first super fight champion, but he also holds the distinction of being the first king of Pancrase. And Pancrase, they don't call their champions champion; they call them kings, which I think is cool as fuck.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Boss Rutan was big in pancreation.
oh,
But
he
yeah,
boss
he.
fuck Prime. I'm gonna tell you what.
But hold on. Before we get too far away from
Okay,
it,
go ahead.
about Ken Shamrock, with difference between him and wrestling and MMA. He said that wrestling did more damage to his body than any MMA match ever could. Because he said that he had to take them drop kicks, he had to take them body slams, he had to do all of that. In MMA, he could just wrestle a guy to the ground and choke him out, and that'd be it. you know, or knock him out. He can
Yeah,
defend
that's
himself.
true.
He
Yeah,
can't defend himself in wrestling.
you got to make it look good, and I mean it's a special way to do it. And look at Dan Severn. Shout out to and I actually
Jeez.
did a I actually did a training seminar. I'm going into my art new style. I saw him in the chat. I'm doing my art new style. Like I've actually done a training seminar with Dan Severn. And he said very similar shit. Like man, you could get hurt really badly doing pro wrestling if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And I mean, man, pro wrestling's and you got to do this for like. There's no off season. You got to do this like what 200 days a year. I mean, some of them 300 days a year because they used to be like back in the 90s. There used to be a round the clock schedule. You're on the road. You wonder why all your favorite wrestlers are on drugs just to cope with the injuries and the loneliness.
Ken Shamrock is not lying because I took the wrestling class before. Man, they make you do all kinds of shit, man. Like, imagine training to take a bump right.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
first. I'm gonna tell you when I coach wrestling, and we're not talking pro. We're talking collegiate and freestyle, scholastic, that type of wrestling. The first thing I have new wrestlers do is doing forward rolls and then getting into a squat position and then lifting, keeping your head forward and then letting your shoulders touch, teaching you how to fall, taking a forward fall. That is one of the hardest things. Like, I hated the first 2 weeks of wrestling. I hated it because you're letting kids throw you or take you down, and God, you're like, God damn. And I know how to fall. So imagine a regular person in the street doing this shit. You're gonna break every goddamn bone in your body. There's times I'm like, God damn, I just felt something rattle. I'll tell you, one time I was training and one of the coaches, the coach's son, hit me with a throw and I impacted the mat so hard that the capillaries in my mouth burst. So imagine bleeding and you have no open wounds. Mm.
That's fucked up.
It's not very good.
I'm still trying to decide what would I rather, and even in boxing when I did boxing for a while, I'm trying to decide which one was worse: getting hit with a clear right hand shot with his weight dug into the ground, or getting thrown. I can't decide which one was worse. God damn! Like,
I
oh,
think getting thrown maybe.
huh?
I said I'd think getting thrown maybe.
I can't even tell. My body just responds to it like this hurts. This shit sucks. Mm. Oh man, this shit sucks. Uh,
We got dapper duns in the building. Said plus they're not getting paid enough. Yeah, wrestlers like they're treated like contracted workers, but they are contracted workers, but they're treated like they're paid employees. So they give them all the standards of a paid employee, but like the way they make their money is like merchandise sales. You know how many of their T-shirts they're able to sell. Plus, they got to get their own hotel rooms and they got to rent their own cars
yeah,
or find some way to the next venue. That's an expense that's on them. Like
yeah,
the really big popular ones, like say for instance the current WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Like he's the ones that getting paid. Like guys like him are the ones that getting paid overage. Like the Miz, like the guy that was on the MTV reality show.
this
Uh,
was one of
yeah,
the amazing stories of pro wrestling ever.
yeah, he gets paid a lot of money. But you know those lower level guys, the one that's trying to get to that spot, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they gotta have that. They gotta show that they have that passion.
yeah. I mean, you get your big paydays during pay per views now. Those are usually your big paydays. Like, you got to think, like, there's some guys, like, I think Kamala, while he was still living, talked about how he got paid $10,000 $20,000 with his match at WrestleMania with The Undertaker. I think it was either WrestleMania or SummerSlam he had with The Undertaker. And The Undertaker was getting paid 700,000. So shit. I mean, you'll probably get your rooms like during pay per views, but back in the day, man, you got you got hosed. You couldn't miss it. That's why you had a lot of guys, fighting through injury to make the next town. You take a lot of fucking drugs too if you had to depend on feeding your family. I mean, look what happened to Bam Bam Bigelow.
Like my favorite wrestlers was Stone Cold and Undertaker. Even The Rock too.
Oh yeah, the Rock didn't stick around long. He went ahead and he took the best deal while he still could. Now he's worth
Yeah,
like what $400 million because of it.
Yeah.
Like once Hollywood called, he was gone. Like he
yeah.
was like,
How was after he blew up?
I rather fake and act than beat up my body and walking around here looking like Mick Foley, for way less. So you really can't blame him for it.
Hmm.
But I know about that Stone Cold Rock, like the Attitude Era, that right there. Yeah, that actually saved WWF.
That's
you know,
that's a pro
Stone
wrestling.
Cold and the Undertaker too. How when he would come
The
out.
NWO, the NWO, which is the greatest storyline in pro wrestling history.
but they fucked it up though.
I mean, it's not fucked up. I mean, it just ran its course. The NWO is the greatest pro wrestling storyline ever, and that and the Attitude Era saved pro wrestling.
Yeah, but let me tell you what happened to the NWO. Hulk Hogan. Now, Hulk Hogan was a very big part of why they made their upsurgence, but since he was a guy with an ego and full creative control, they kept the belt on him for far too long. The one guy that they were able to put over because they couldn't help but put him over was Goldberg.
Yeah,
See,
Goldberg.
Sting went over Hogan, but it was a controversial finish because the referee counted his shoulders to the ground 1, 2, 3. You
Hmm.
know, and it was like that was some creative issue with Hogan because he didn't want to look like he just straight up lost. And I'm like, man, fuck that shit, bruh. I mean,
Yeah,
shit, get but it got to be too much at one point. And then when Vince Russo, who wrote for Vince McMahon, when he went over to WCW, like, see, one thing about Vince Russo working for Vince McMahon was Vince Russo wasn't allowed to use his bad ideas under
no,
Vince.
was tamped down. Vince Russo was tamped down. That's why Vince is the greatest mind in pro wrestling history because he kept a lot of dumb shit out. I mean, yeah, once in a while he had some dumb ideas, but Vince
Yeah,
Russo,
but
man,
well, Attitude Era Vince was like the best Vince McMahon. Pre-Attitude Era Vince, not so much. I mean, he had guys like Yokozuna, The Undertaker, but you got a guy talking about he a hockey player. You got a guy talking about he's a garbage man, a dentist. Like that shit was dumb.
that was the time. That was the time and era you had back then. So I don't blame him for that. I
I
got
mean,
understand, but guess what? How many of you motherfuckers who are 40 plus were Hulkamaniacs? That's
uh,
Vince.
I was, yeah. That all of that was Vince McMahon. Yeah, Vince McMahon. Like WWE wouldn't exist today if it wasn't for Vince McMahon making Hulk Hogan his guy.
Pro
And but see, the thing is, you will find out years later that he didn't fully utilize Hogan.
yeah.
Like Hogan wrestled in Japan. Hulk
Oh,
Hogan in
oh,
Japan
Hulk
was
Hogan
way
is
different.
Yeah.
different. Like because you knew who trained them were the Japanese. Hogan in
Hiro Matsuda.
Japan. Hogan. I'm gonna tell you where. Okay, you don't mind if I say this real quick, Kev.
I don't know what you're gonna say, but go right ahead.
WWE kind of dropped the ball because you could have had Bret Hart versus Hogan and let Hogan wrestle the same way he does in Japan, and that would have been a fucking instant classic.
Oh shit, man! It'd probably been the greatest wrestling match of all time. Don't
Hogan
lie.
was doing drop toe holds, insecurities, drop kicks, lariats. I mean, he was doing
Chops.
holds, chops. Hogan in Japan could wrestle his Hogan can when people talk about the American Hogan, Hogan, oh, he can't wrestle like no, Hogan can wrestle his ass off. He can wrestle a big 315 pound, 6'8" man doing drop toe holds and shit like that. Yo, that would have and him and Brett would have man, even if Hogan had to go under
Man.
you take my money for that match. Give me Japan Hogan versus Bret Hart. Take my money.
Oh my God. That like I said, that would have been the greatest wrestling match of all time. But instead, Vince wanted him to do the same cookie cutter shit each match. Do a couple tests of strengths, throw around your opponent a little bit, and then let your opponent beat your ass for like 20 fucking minutes, and then hulk up, big boot, leg drop, and then pose for like 10 minutes in front of the crowd. That's all Vince wanted Hogan to do. And it is like when I look back on it, it did work. It worked for me as a kid. But I look back on it as an adult, I'm like, man, I really fell for this bullshit. But like the one thing, like I stopped being a fan of Hogan when Hogan threw a temper tantrum because he got thrown out of the Royal Rumble by Sid. Yeah, with and then Sid, then he helped Ric Flair eliminate Sid because he got threw out. I said they fucking his character up now. They making him look like a bitch, like look like a spoiled kid. And this is me at 12 years old thinking this shit. But yeah, they Vince did what worked for the time. I mean, in the '80s, like things were kind of evolving in the media, so any like new cool thing they threw us, we accepted that shit. We weren't as much in depth with it. I mean, yeah, because like we were kids then.
We wanted more reality based, and that's where Stone Cold, because you know where he got the persona from was Natural Born Killers with Woody Harrelson.
Oh
Just
yeah,
the look and everything and the speech pattern. And I mean, shit, I go back to, if you really want to look at a really good pro wrestling match for the sake of pro wrestling, fresh as shit, isn't it? Go watch the Marquis of Queensberry, Lord Steven Regal versus Ric Flair. One of the best series of pro wrestling I ever saw in my life. And this was free TV where they would actually wrestle on different shows for a cup. And they kind of legitimized wrestling because it was like you didn't need a storyline. You just wanted to see some good wrestling and some good action. I mean, remember when they had the New Japan over in WCW come over and they had those guys in WCW where they had Kazuki Kasaki take the US title from Sting, the Great
oh
Muta.
yeah.
Like, oh my
Oh,
god. The Great Muta was the shit. On a circle.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The great, yeah, oh yeah, old Keiji Muto, aka the Great Muta.
The Great Muta.
Yeah, yeah, he was the one that came through and like he made the moonsault popular over here.
He made the moon so popular. I'm gonna tell you, Kenji Muto was so good that he would wrestle differently than when he wrestled under his real name and under the Great Muta persona. He was that good. He wrestled a totally different way of match.
Yeah, and he just and he recently retired.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just had a retirement tour, so he knew when to sit down. And then like yeah, and damn, he was just inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
think
Even
about
though
it.
I don't remember like I
Never
don't remember him ever wrestling for WWE.
never wrestled for WWE,
He's in the Hall of
but,
Fame.
but he's in the Hall, and that would actually made their Hall of Fame legitimate. I mean, look at Stan Henson. Stan Henson hasn't wrestled in the WWF since like the late 70s, the early 80s. And Stan Henson in Japan was a motherfucker. I'm glad they're recognizing other people from other federations. Like Jushin Thunder Liger only had one match in WWE.
Yeah, but what they're talking about is like I guess what they're doing is paying tribute to the overall impact.
Yeah,
Yeah. Plus, some of them guys passed through ECW as well. I think Jushin Thunder Liger went through ECW.
yeah,
Now,
he went through ECW. I mean, but Jushin Thunder Liger is a legit legend. I mean,
oh yeah, 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 he is because he used to wrestle for WCW back in the day. I remember him and Brian Pillman wrestled.
him and Brian Pillman had classics.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pillman was actually good. He was a guy that transitioned from football to wrestling. He was actually good. You know, his son wrestling in NXT right now.
Yeah, flying Brian Pillman, baby.
Yeah, but his son ain't nearly what he was though. Well, at least not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe, yeah, but I guess back in the '80s and '90s, that was school of hard knock shit. You
Mm-mm.
know, we couldn't fuck around. I mean, you couldn't really fuck around with anything back then.
Oh yeah, Kenta Kobashi. Oh, Masachono. Oh, Masachono. Well, you know Masachono and Kenji Moto. they came up together. Who else? You know I'm going back in the day when I'm talking about certain Japanese wrestlers. You know,
Okay, yeah.
Kazuki Kasaki is probably one of my second favorite Japanese wrestlers. Shit, I remember when you had Dr. Death Steve Williams and Bam Bam Gordy versus the Steiner brothers. Yeah, you know, Stan Henson made a lot of money in Japan.
Yeah, yeah. Stan Hansen was like their champion for a while. For a
Oh,
while.
Stan Henson was a motherfucker. Like I remember when he came to the AWA and beat Rick Martel for the world title, and they said we wanted the world title back. So the motherfucker took his pickup truck, ran over it, and mailed it back, and with the mud and everything on it.
God damn. Yeah, the lariat. Like
The
somebody mentioned, who do I mention? No holds barred. Uh,
yeah,
yeah. Or hybrid. He mentioned no holds barred.
Zeus.
Stan Hansen was in
Stan,
no holds barred.
yeah, he was in it.
Yeah,
Stan Henson was making money in the 80s and 90s.
yeah. He was the guy. He was the guy that was the plot device that introduced Zeus.
Yeah,
Yeah, Zeus took him out, and then Hulk Hogan had to beat the big bad guy. The big old black guy. That's
big old black guy. Even though he didn't mind it because that's what put Tiny Lister on the map.
oh yeah. I mean, he wrestled SummerSlam that year, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was like a one-off.
it
Like,
was-
I mean, they had him appear at certain venues to attack Hulk Hogan, but
yeah,
then like he
movie.
lost to Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and they promoted the movie. The movie was coming out. So
Yeah,
I mean, what was uh, even though there were sometimes in the '90s there were a lot of WCW matches better than WWF. I have to say that.
yeah. I mean, especially when you're talking about Dusty Rhodes and his son
Yeah.
when he first came in, and then you talking about Barry Windham,
The little
Ron.
Ron Simmons when he won the world title in Baltimore in '92. Yeah, I remember that shit. I was 10. um, shit, that was a lot of classics. I think the greatest big man of all time, besides Bam Bam Bigelow, was Vader.
Yeah, Bam Bam Vader. Shoot, I would say, but the thing is though, I would say that the greatest big man is probably the Undertaker.
But here's the problem with that: the Undertaker was never really billed as a big man.
What he was a tall guy.
Even though he was a big man, legitimately, but they never played him as a big guy because they always had bigger guys facing him.
Yeah,
So they kind of, I mean, especially early Taker when he first came there, that Survivor Series, and he's walking on a fucking 6'10", 320 pounds, and he's walking on the fucking ropes like a tightrope.
mm,
Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, like young Taker, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was told the Undertaker he used to wrestle out where I'm at in Canada, in Calgary. I don't remember what it was. I think
Yeah,
it's called like Stampede Wrestling or something.
yeah. Well,
That's what an older guy told me.
he was at WCW for a little bit. Mean Mark Calloway with the heart punch. Oh yeah, that's
well, it was me, Mark Callis,
oh yeah,
and then let me see what year the Great American Bash. He fought Lex Luger,
yeah,
and Lex Luger made him tap out with the torture rack, and then months later he appeared as the Undertaker. He
yep.
was actually supposed to. They were actually talking about having him come out the egg.
No, that was supposed to be the rib they were having him do. He was
Yeah.
like, oh my god. So they kept leading him on to that shit. So they were joking with him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was a hell of a career move. I mean, I think he did pretty well for himself. I think he did okay with the.
Oh yeah.
I
With
think he
the
did okay with the Undertaker gimmick.
yeah. Oh yeah, man. But okay. Let me circle back. Let me circle back around to what I was originally speaking on. The welcome to reality. Can we truly have a space where most of the attention. Well, I wouldn't even say most of the attention, where a lot of the attention goes to having hate and tension with folks.
Can we have a space where it has to have it, or I mean,
I mean, it's like I don't know. It's just like this. You can either be yourself and face the real you, or play a character that does nothing but hate on people and get some traction that way.
well,
And one road is harder to travel than the other. I would
well,
say.
me, if you take, and I'll use myself for an example. I earned my 4,000 subscribers, every subscriber, bit by bit, minute by minute, day by day, by being myself. I'm not a superhero. I'm not trying to make myself seem like I got a whole bunch of money. Hey, there's broke weeks for me too. Um, I think you'll keep people longer being the genuine you. It's going to be longer to get that attention because I think that sometimes you got to have lightning in a bottle for some people, and for some others, you're going to be tested, especially when you come to this space. I could just tell the truth about a certain situation. Well, if it's about men, women, relationships, politics, policing, there's going to be people who are going to hate, regardless of what I say, regardless on how truthful I am. People are just going to hate. It's a natural deference for people when you go against their beliefs and their views to be something other than what they grew up with. Like when I tell people about policing, how many times do I get hate for it? No, I mean, I get more love now than the hate, but you know, I, I used to get a lot of people telling me, no, the police, they did this, they did that. And I said, the police, they got to get quotas to make their money from tickets. I said, well, you don't get more money for making tickets. Maybe you shouldn't have been doing 60 and a 25.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I've only beat I've beaten one case where I had a ticket, and all of the other times I can say I was wrong. Well,
Yeah.
the reality was I didn't want it to. I mean, as much as I didn't want to pay those tickets, there was no way I was getting out of it. But there was one time where I was right and I won that case.
Yeah. And I think that we're at a place where ignorance rules all until you bring proof, and even still, some people are just going to hold tight to their beliefs.
Well, deprogramming a motherfucker, that's a slippery slope because, people have been indoctrinated with a belief for so long that if you could actually show them the truth or something tangible that disproves their beliefs, then they might actually flip out. So really you have to be careful with people on certain things. And it's like I was saying earlier, they'll use anything not to listen if they can't accept the info you're putting out. You're broke, you're gay, all kinds of shit that they can't prove their
I
damn
mean, look,
self.
here's a good example. Look at Kevin. Look at Kevin when he was living. How many
Yeah.
chicks got mad when he talked about and called him gay?
They called they called him gay because he was telling them that, look, in your current state that you weren't going to be able to get this type of dude that you're looking for.
No,
That's it. I
you're
said,
5'1", you're 230 pounds, you got 3 kids. You're not getting that 6-figure nigga. Why would he settle for you when he's eligible to get somebody better than you? He's able to get somebody 15, 20 years younger than you.
yeah, but when he hit that slipstream and he stuck to it, he made a lot of money. How was he wrong for wanting to do what's best for him?
Yeah.
Is is the question I would have for anybody.
And I
Yeah.
mean, he told the truth, but he made money. That's how it should be. That's what the indoctrination point is that if you tell the truth, people will respect you. But everybody knows that a lot of a lot of shit that goes
Truth
on.
shall set you free. Tell the truth, shame the
Tell the truth,
devil.
tell the truth, shame the devil. But when it comes to, but we all know the biggest detractors against the black manosphere is gonna be simps and black women who don't agree with us. I mean,
Well,
thank
let me add a third let me add a third party to that group. People who don't know any goddamn better.
yeah, that's true. And the reason why is because a lot of these issues that come up, people want to say, "Oh, you just hating." I have no hate. If I tell you something that's true and it's true, but you don't like it, is that my problem or yours? I remember being on Instagram. A whole bunch of ladies hated my guts because I said it is harder to have a baby post 30. Well, that's not true. My mama had me at 40. Go ask your mama, was it easier to have you at 40 than she had her other kids younger? I'm not saying you can't have a baby, but it's a lot harder. Why do you think you're more likely to be miscarriage? Every woman I knew who had a child 30 plus, they were on bed rest. You weren't walking around.
Like,
At some point halfway through the pregnancy, they put your ass on bed rest because you had a high propensity for what? Miscarriaging. So it's no different if I tell a black man, well, yeah, you should take your 20s, get all the education and training you should get. You should get your experiences so when your 30s come, you're ready to take on the world. Oh, you just hating on. Okay, whatever. Just because you hate on it doesn't make it any less true.
like what you
Yeah.
were saying earlier about like, some dudes that try to lash out. Like, it's kind of like telling the dude about his girl. Like, you never want to do that because even if it's true, he's just gonna be mad at you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure Kev would tell you from experience. I don't know how long he's been in the space. He's probably been in here longer than I have. Um, you're on a tightrope because why? You see the world for what it is and not what you want it to be. And I think that's the hardest pill for anybody to swallow.
Is that pill red?
Oh, that feels red than a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Kind of big black,
because
yeah.
you
That
know
pill so that pill
all
so red it doesn't pronounce anything with a C.
yeah, that I mean they the, all of the world's so like all of the black people's ills right now fall on like it is the fault of the red pill, manosphere, passport bros. Like some goofy nigga I was like video popped up in my feed talking about Leslie Jones, like and what she said about podcasters and passport bros and all this other stuff. And the point he was trying to make was, oh man, all y'all look weird to somebody. Man, well, if she think it, what do you mean other people would think of it? I said, we already know, motherfucker. We
Let,
already know.
let
We
me let,
already know. Newsflash, nigga. Like,
like how long you been married, Kev?
uh, a decade,
A decade, right?
whole
Ups and downs,
decade.
right?
Yep.
Ups and downs, but more ups than downs, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. More ups and downs, I would say. Yeah.
But that's natural. But here's the point, right? You got somebody. You're married. You're red pill. That doesn't mean that you can't get anybody because you have somebody.
But you know what though? This is why I'm gonna start saying fuck these pieces of shit. Either you go grow a set of nuts and come talk to us like you talk to everybody else, or you can shut the fuck up. Or I can ignore you and you'll fizzle the fuck away any goddamn way and I can continue to do my thing. This is why I have these smoke shows. If somebody really want to come up here and convince me that I hate women, you know, or I hate black people. There's plenty of material on YouTube that you could possibly reference to that is on my channel to prove your point. Give me the timestamp and I'll explain exactly why I said what I said. What I'm beginning to realize is that people are going to say what the fuck they want to say anyway. What they're going to do is they're going to stick to their little own ignorant ass shit and continue to be that way because there's a bunch of people backing them saying, hell yeah, fuck them niggas. Man, fuck yeah, fuck those niggers. Yeah, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. And the way I look trying to convince an idiot not to be an idiot is going to make me look like an idiot. That's
Yeah,
what it's going to do.
yeah. You got but so many chances. It's like your homeboys. Like I remember the Padawan telling me, "You got 20-year-old men now saying maybe I should have a kid that'll make me more of a man." And I'm like, they wouldn't dare say that shit to me because I would just tell them. So you're telling me going to college and getting good grades and studying wouldn't make you more of a man? Going to the military, the fire department, the police department, the Peace Corps wouldn't make you more of a man? Hell, even going on a missionary tour, that would make you more of a man?
How about just not doing stupid shit?
That makes you a hell of a man.
Something as simple as not doing stupid shit.
No,
Yeah,
not
but
not not drink.
hold on, real quick. I had this on the screen for a minute. Louis Kanye, appreciate it, man. Salute to you, Thank you for your support. Thank you for the
Ooh.
super chat. Really appreciate that shit, bro.
You know,
So,
we got a nickname with the Brass Knuckle Biker Boys.
yeah, what's good, Donnie? SLN Fitness. Let me see if there's some other people in here that I didn't shout out. Rainfire Designs said I wasn't a Hulkamaniac, but No Holds Barred was my pick. What's your name? Zeus, LOL. Bad hombres here. Who else? Who else? I think I shouted out everybody else.
Makes it
Yeah,
boy.
Aria was in the chat earlier.
What's up, Arya? Long time no see.
Yeah, yeah. So shouting out to those people. So long live the habitual line steppers. We got Donnie of YAS4W.
Dude,
So
if y'all don't start selling T-shirts of that shit, I swear to God, man, I'm gonna steal your shit.
alrighty. Well, you know, good luck.
I'll be like, God damn, that shit is so classic. But
Yeah.
although it's some real shit, it's always gonna be detractors when you take a certain code or path. Like I'm pretty sure you don't have morality, you have a code. Very similar to myself. I don't have morality because morality changes with the wind. I have a code. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. Hell, I'm even gonna most times I'm gonna be nice to you starting out when I first meet you. So what's wrong with actually the manosphere or the black manosphere specifically is that you're gonna have a lot of haters and detractors. I think some people, because they're so lonely or they don't get the attention in their real life, they want to come over here and build themselves up as a character, similar to what we were talking about pro wrestling. When does the character stop and the real person begins? That's the big question.
Also, Faulkner, Sergeant, um, that we also have to realize is that a lot of the time it ain't just about black manosphere with some of these folks. It's about black men as a collective and how we are looked upon generally anyway. Like there's this whole massive sentiment of since you niggas didn't save the community or which or y'all got defeated by the white man during slavery. If I don't want to listen to you, I can disrespect you as much as I want to. And and especially with being on the internet where you can't just instantly pop a motherfucker in the mouth when they
Yeah.
say some disrespectful shit, they gonna say shit to you all motherfucking day long. I mean, I've already been that route on other social media platforms, and I'm seeing more of it. I'm seeing more and more of it. When it comes to YouTube, and the same people talk about that they want to see some more positive outcomes as their solutions. Be the very people that do this shit, that be on that hating ass shit. That the ones that really need to go out and touch grass.
Yeah. I mean, to piggyback off of what you said, Kevin's group, The Mix, which still exists, and I'm a member of it, you have about 5 to 10 people who met there and they're either engaged or married by now. That's a positive outcome. How many brothers actually stopped from self deleting themselves because of conversations with yourself, BGS, Angry Man, and others, and including myself? I got the emails when people said, "Hey, I was going to do something very bad, and I'm glad I heard you say get my shit together." I mean, not every we don't do this shit for fame and saying, we're not, like a televangelist. We're not trying to say, well, we're going to bring people to the pulpit and we're going to heal them. I mean, if you get a healing, that's great, but the message or whatever is on your mind is going to seep through. We have positive outcomes. Like look at Tan, who's a regular on my show in BGS's. He years ago he was with his girlfriend. He's in the trucking. He got his girlfriend in the trucking. He told me all the characteristics his girlfriend displayed. I said, "Motherfucker, you better marry her." But they don't take those shows.
We only have a tendency to focus on the things that we don't like, and then make it exponentially what we don't like. That I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. We just focus on bullshit. I mean, they'll say stop being negative, and then go look for the negativity. That's just how it is with these folks sometimes. With not really with so much with a lot of our audiences, especially like you can really tell what kind of channel the place is by its live audience and what they have a tendency to focus on.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, for how many times do we give when the ladies of our channels come on? We give them nothing but love and praise.
I mean, look. I'm gonna say it just like that. We have given like a lot of women their grace, but I know where you're about to go with this. The y'all, the whole y'all hate women crap that everybody loves to say, which I like to call doing the white girl because I hear that shit more often from white women on TV than anything. Every time that their logic is challenged, then they start accusing you of hating them. And yeah, just like I would use LeVar Ball as an example when he told that other sportscaster like this happened to be a white woman to stay in her lane, because she was trying to take shots at him about his family, and then the first thing she throws out is, "You must have a problem with women." It's the same thing. If you're stupid, that I don't discriminate based upon gender.
No, I don't discriminate against race,
Yeah,
religion, gender. Hell, you could be transgender. I'll call you a stupid motherfucker. Hell, when I was at BlurCon, I had to give, some dap and a hug to a transgender gentleman, or, well, lady, I guess, if you want to be politically correct, who dressed up as 90s Jubilee. I said, dude, that's a hard ass costume. You did that. It's not me trying to placate. I'm not gay. I'm very sincere about my sexuality and masculinity. There's nothing wrong with giving another person love. And I think that's what a lot of people fail to do, is to give another person love and to be like, look, I may not agree with what you like may not be for me, but I still respect you and love you as a human being. We can't even get to that notion because I tell people, even some of the guys who work for me at BlurCon, I said, look, it's a black, you're gonna see other races of people, but it's a mainly black comic book and anime festival. Cartoon festival. You're going to see older people, middle aged people, young people dressed up. I mean, people of different races, different genders, different sexuality, but they're cool ass people. If you come, hopefully I'm gonna try to get Kev to come to BlurCon. He'll love it. You'll probably see me out there with my liquor, my cups, and my speaker and my cigars, and we're playing all the good music from old school to hip hop, everything. We're playing it, and everybody's like loving it. We're just chilling, vibing. I'm probably buying a whole bunch of artwork. It's one of those things where it's a community where you could take the good out of everybody. Does that make sense?
uh, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. I know where you're going with that.
But when you actually focus on the good, There's some people they can't they can't how can I say it in the military terms? There's some people who cannot exist in peacetime. They always have to fight another war. Think about that. I want you to really think about that.
I understand what you're
Okay.
trying to say. Like that whole BGS and that table shit. It's like that time when he was having that conversation about it. Like I'm just looking at the comments, and also like when other people were talking about it, I'm looking at the comments. They're just like, like yeah, they're coming to the table, but they're not coming on their knees and begging, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these guys? Like seriously, you could just either pick a different race or find one that was actually raised properly.
Yeah.
But honestly, picking a different race would be a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah. I mean,
That that's kind of like what I was trying to say earlier. It's like telling a dude like that his girl's a hoe. No dude's gonna want to hear that shit, even if it's the truth. Well,
you're
I mean, most dudes aren't gonna want to hear that.
absolutely correct about that. We got you're getting people. You got chaos. Happy belated birthday to Chaos Rain, and we got Ray Hama.
Yeah, Ray. What up,
Hey,
Ray?
what's
What
up,
up,
y'all?
Chaos? Yeah,
So,
Chaos. What's good, man?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
I think bottom line, there's some people who they've been down in the dumps for so long they can't see anything positive, man. And that's the bottom line, because Charles Salton said so.
All right. So Chaos, Ray, uh, thoughts.
Um, just sitting back, actually listening. I'm trying to think what to really add on. Besides what's going on with Marvel and the future of comic book movies in the next, I'd say, 3 years. I predicted, like what was revealed 2 years ago, that there will be a merger of both comic books. They're gonna merge into one conglomerate. I feel it's coming. If you look at all of the failure movies this year, it only creates an environment of takeover at this point.
Well, there were some reviews that I got, where some people said, that the Marvels movie was good. So,
It's possible. I have not watched it. Um, I was thinking of maybe watching it, but I don't know. That's just me. I don't feel. I don't feel convinced. Yeah. Can I hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't feel convinced about Marvel movies. You know, personally. So.
I mean, it ain't everybody's taste. I mean, have you? How many Marvel movies have you watched?
This year I watched pretty much all of them. I watched the Quantumania, the Love and Thunder, and what was the other one that came out? Um, I think only 3 movies came out this year from Marvel, right?
Let me see what came out this year. The Marvels and the other one I don't remember. The
Love and
Guardians of the
Thunder.
Galaxy 3 came out.
Oh yeah, and I saw that. I saw that.
and you didn't like that one?
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was cool. It was straight. But I'm probably not gonna see the Marvels till they come out on the USA Network or some shit like that, or FX, or
Yeah, I'm
even
thinking
if that.
waiting for Disney Plus.
I plan on watching the Marvels movie or finish watching it after I get done off this panel, man, because I fell asleep like in the first 5 minutes. Like, soon, damn it, they started like with that body swap shit, so I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. They said that Indian woman is gonna be something special. that she's gonna be a very big star in the future. The Indian chick.
Indian chick from what?
From the Marvels. Kalakai?
I didn't
That's
even
her name?
look at the cast or anything.
Like he talking about that girl that played Kamala
Kamala
Khan.
Kai? Kamala Kai, yeah. Yeah. They said she can be a very good actor.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all good actors, but if they just go ahead and put some, if they go ahead and put some good storytelling behind that shit,
It'll help.
Right.
It will surely help.
yeah. What's good, Ray? Ray, are you there?
Yeah.
You got the floor. Okay. Okay, he dropped off.
Sound like he's
So bad.
somewhere. It was
Yeah,
kind of live.
Yeah.
yeah. Bad hombre said drop the link. Hurry up, bad hombre, because I think I'm about to write the swan song on this one or sing the swan. I don't know what the fucking. No, I'm about to end it in a little bit. So, uh, yeah. Rainfire Design said I just watched the Marvels a few hours ago. It's not as bad as people say. It's just pee. Okay. So, all right. So anyway, guys, there
Always,
he is.
always a pleasure. I'm about to hit the, call it a do. It's always a pleasure, Kev, and everybody. Woo! And I'm
Yeah.
out.
Have a good one.
Word. All right, all right.
Take care, Charles. Take care.
Yeah, but Rainfire Designs finished saying, as I was saying, it was geared more toward to a female audience. Which I mean, there's nothing wrong with like chick flicks and such. Well, not chick flick, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with shit starring women, but you gotta put a good story behind it. You can't just write it just to prove a point. But it is yeah. RVM says the Marvels was trash, so we got another opinion on the movie. So this got people split. So what's good, bad hombre?
Peace, Kev. Thank you for letting me come up. I just want to say that, in my opinion, the MCU is nothing more than the You remember the Joel Schumacher Batman and Robin with George Clooney? That's where the MCU. That's the direction they're headed. It seems like since Captain America: Winter Soldier, they decided to change the tone and just go to camp, silly, but the seats were getting filled. They were making billions of dollars, and the quality of the movie started going downhill. And I'm a film freak, and I saw that Killers of the Flower Moon, one of the greatest movies I've seen probably in the last 10 years. It was four people in the fucking theater. Four people, and one of them left. So
Wow.
it is what it is.
You said that the Johnny Leonardo DiCaprio movie was the greatest
Yeah.
film, but only a few people watched it. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I said when I'm at my screening, and I'm in DC, there was four people in the theater, and one of them left.
Mm.
So I'm saying that as long as those seats are full, MCU is going to keep putting out garbage. But once the fans say no, we're good, then they're going to go back to Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War style. Somebody said that in the Marvels they have like a 5 minute musical number. I mean, I don't want to do any spoilers, but they actually broke out a musical. They
Okay.
started singing in that joint.
Wow.
So that's where they're at now.
Yeah, I heard about that, but maybe I should just like just go see it for myself. Just
Mhm.
just not to be the one to listen to everybody else say it sucks. Just try to determine that for myself um because I can tell when a movie sucks. Like I tell you one, I didn't like Ant Man and Quantum Mania.
Yeah, I
I
wasn't a
didn't.
fan of that.
Yeah, I didn't like it for several reasons. But yeah, but yeah,
And
yeah.
they said that Nick Fury is just comic relief, saying shit like "Black Girl Magic," bullshit like that.
Okay, yeah. Instead of Nick Fury being the badass tactician, secret spy, espionage, they kind of fucked this character up too.
Yeah,
So
that's what people. That's what they saying.
Yeah, I might check it out because like I got one of those movie memberships. So like I get a free movie a month. Like I pay like a fee every month, get a free movie and shit. I got like a couple tickets I haven't used, and I wanted to watch that Killers of the Flower Moon. Not really anything else to watch besides that.
Yeah, my bad, brother Kev. I'm back, man. Shit, I just had some noise in the background.
no
Yeah,
problem.
there's an anime show going on, so I was like, had like three things going on at once, man. so, so what's up with
Hey, it's not real quick. It's not a comic book movie, but they said that Five Nights at Freddy's is pretty good. It's based on like a video game or something. Y'all know what I'm talking about? They said that's really good.
you?
Yeah, I check it out, but I'm a little shaky on PG-13 horror films.
Wow.
Oh shit! Yeah, them horror films, dude. Like, yeah, they're iffy as hell. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, they came out with this new horror film, well, The Exorcist, and in this Exorcist though, in particular, this new one, I forgot the rest of the title, but it has like a white girl. Not only a white girl is possessed now by a demon, but a black girl is possessed now too. So they got like a duo demon possession going on.
Oh shit!
And so I'm like, okay, what does this mean by y'all
We're gonna be we're gonna be
inserting this
demon
black girl
sisters.
in here? Yeah, right.
Man, come on, man. What is that? Was you were talking about the Pope's Exorcist, right?
No,
Or was another one?
it was an Exorcist. Fuck, man, I forgot, but it's
It's like a sequel to the first Exorcist.
yeah, I'm gonna go to my YouTube or Google and try to find out what hell YouTube is basically Google any damn way. So yeah, man, because I was like, what the hell? I'm like, y'all are desperate. I'm like, come on, man, y'all like creativity. I mean,
Um,
like, even
no,
though
go ahead.
Japan, even though Japanimation and all that shit is anime, I still believe that there is a lot of things within it that Hollywood can take notes from. You know what I mean? So, and
Them motherfucker. Every time they get their hands on an anime and they make an American version of it, man, they ain't
I
taking no damn
know,
notes.
I
Like shit.
know.
You see Dragon Ball Evolution, man. That pile of shit. Like
Well, well, with that in mind, what do you think about the movie Full Metal Alchemist? All right, it was through Netflix and was about to come out on Netflix as they announced too in their Geek Week showcase. Is a Yu Yu Hakusho.
yeah, I watched a trailer to that. I mean, at least they're doing the Taguro brothers, and Yu Yu Hakusho is a really good anime, probably one of the best. So
Yeah,
they
Why you say that, Kev? I remember back in the day when it came on. Was it Tsunami? And what was it, like mid 90s when it came out? And
no,
yeah,
it was early 2000s. Yu Yu Hakusho, I can't remember. It was 2003 exactly. Yeah,
I'm gonna double check that, and you might be right. It might be around 2000. I remember it came out 90s one time, but it probably didn't. It was like a
I
short
mean,
thing, but then
I'm pretty
but
sure in
if
Japan.
if it came out earlier, it's like one particular season, and it didn't really complete per se because a lot of people weren't feeling it until like a couple years later when they start put out again, and people start follow it, and then they start come up with the rest of the episodes of it. I
I
remember
found
that.
it. It's called Exorcist. It's called Exorcist Believer.
Yeah,
E-
but
ex-
that's what I remember. That's what I remember if, around that time, because I remember when first came out, we didn't get to the part where what's the name? The guy Yusuke. What was his name?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
he,
Yusuke. Yeah,
how,
that sounds right.
how he went to the tournament, and the woman that trained him gave him the powers, the rest of the powers, so he gave him defeat the first ghost detective. You know,
Hmm.
I never watched the other season of it ever since I watched the tournament part of the Yu Yu Hakushow. Now that I think about it, I should watch the whole watch the whole series of it.
That and shit. What else? Oh yeah, that
One
One
Piece.
Piece. Now, if looking at how we say, okay, especially with Death Note, like Hollywood needs a straight kick, a straight boot up the
No,
ass.
it was Netflix. They took and watered down Death Note. They could have made like the actual Japanese version series.
But they're still Hollywood like related, you know what I mean? Because that's like a masterpiece that's straight from Japan. You know what I mean? Its origins is Japan, so that's something that they should have left the hell alone. But what I find ironic is that everybody's saying that this One Piece animation TV show is pretty good. I'm like,
Yeah, it's good. I saw the first episode, and I never watched the animation in its entirety
I mean,
because
how is that good? But you bastards couldn't get right Dragon Ball and Death Note and shit. Come on now, that
you
should
know
make
you know my thing with Dragon Ball, if they decide to do a series now, it would make sense to do it on Netflix and do it the right way. You get me? And trust me, this is my prediction. I would give it by 2026 that they will come out with Netflix series Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, and it's gonna start maybe somewhere of the infant side, and then they're gonna speed up to the Dragon Ball Z series and move forward. In my opinion,
uh,
and the reason why I say is because usually when they make these cartoons into actual movies and TV series, you look at a period of like 5 to 10 years later. If you look at Dragon Ball, its creation came out in '86, so I would say I give up to 40 years when they decide to, since this anime stuff is working on a lot of these paid programs, these subscription based programs, they're gonna start rolling out all of them now. Cause think about it, One Piece doing well. They're gonna have Yu Hakusho that a lot of people said predicted that's gonna do pretty well. The only things that flopped in the anime that went like live action series of it is like they say Cowboy Bebop. What else? I can't name anything else, but those like risky shows they took. But I think because One Piece and Yu Hakusho that's going to come out next month, I believe they're going to start throwing more money into this. Right, this is going to pick which be the next. I give Dragon Ball as a Netflix series. I give that by 2026.
I don't know, man. I'm scared to look at One Piece, man. But okay, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna look at it, man, because that's my shit. You know
And,
what I
and,
mean?
and trust me, I never watched the cartoon. I was tempted to watch cartoon, but I
Well,
can't
hold
keep
on,
it.
cartoon. Hold on. Correct yourself. Anime.
I mean, anime. All right, anime, Japanese anime.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, anime. I have not watched it in its time because I did some digging about it. That junk's still running, and it's been around over 20 some years.
Yeah. I watched it from episode 1 to all the way to episode
1,000.
1,000 and something right now. Yeah. But
Crazy.
right now I'm purposely, behind like at least probably like 5 to 10 episodes because I've been on another project I was wanting to get done, get out the way and shit, including with me looking at films and and other shows and generating, content from that. Hence, I'm thinking about doing a review of Blue Eye Samurai from Netflix. They advertise it as they do have their own, I think probably two or
Is
three.
that really good?
Yeah, they have their
I
own
just
probably
started
2 or 3
watching it today.
YouTube channels. The action is good and everything, and um and it's basically like on some feminist shit, you know what I mean? And you got this chick
Eat
who's
the cake anime.
you got this chick who's a half Japanese, half white, and she's trying to get revenge against this white man that supposedly killed
Nah,
her
you
mother
killing the
and shit.
storyline,
So,
bro.
huh?
I just started watching that show today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was almost done the first episode when the stream started.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I I have no idea. I'm gonna let you finish. Yeah.
No, yeah, and well, I have another source of way where I found out, how I can watch the rest of it without having a Netflix subscription. So yeah, I ended up finishing that. I think it was just like 8 episodes, and yeah, I plan on doing my review on that, man, because I will at least say this without no spoilers that it got high impact action, gruesome, and when it comes to RX, yeah, it's quadruple X rated. I
Well,
would
that's
say that.
what like
And when it comes to the feminist tropes and shit,
that's
times
what
that
Kev was trying to say
times that
earlier.
by three, times that by
Like
three.
that's what Kev was trying to say earlier. Like it's not about like having a female lead. It matters if the storyline is good.
Put
Yeah, the
a chick in
storyline.
it and make her gay.
I mean, the storyline was, okay, cool. You know what I mean? And it's nothing familiar when it comes to our male protagonists and stuff like that. But thing is, I mean, I don't know, man. Just the feminist shit, I was able to put aside and appreciate at least the action that they,
Yeah,
the work that they did with the action. I was really,
like I never
surprised
finished the
surprised
first
with that.
episode, but like when I seen her cut the dude's hand off, I'm like, yeah, now I'm interested.
Oh, you
Did,
say,
did you all hear what they tried to do to Blade?
oh yeah, his daughter,
Yeah, I'm proud that Mashar Ali to step away from it now. He
yeah, his
knows that
daughter.
they're going to feminize the hell. And mind you, he's a man that's been playing roles that wore down his character, and he look at himself where he's at in his career. He can't afford to do it, especially with a character like Blade. He couldn't seem to going through with it, and that's what Foggy was planning to do. Remember, this was to draw out his daughter to be more of the role antagonist for this new upcoming Blade. They came out with a comic book of her.
And they were gonna make her gay. I heard it was like three women, and then Blade was
Yeah,
kind of like the fourth wheel.
that's not gonna fly.
Yeah,
If he was gonna do that, he might as well just put her as a solo project on his own instead, incorporate with Blade. Making a gay daughter gay on Blade? Are you your mind?
I call,
Are
I
you
call
serious?
that I call that gender wash.
Yeah, listen, this man's already losing money with a lot of mishap moves he's making. If he gonna fuck around and lose all those characters, it's gonna be like 1996 all over again. Mark my word with Marvel. It's gonna be 1996 all over again in less time than when they were starting to make some money, having your own studio and make your own movies. You're blowing this now. You've been doing this for the last 15 fucking years, and now you're gonna throw away because you want to make it what woke shit, gender based. You know what? All this they're having these problems is because you're signed under Disney.
That's why
If
I'm
you were
glad
not signed
anime is
under
king.
Disney, you would not have this problem. The problem with a lot of these dudes that making money in the business, they should need to branch off and say we're going to create some outside Disney or any of these other major corporations. Say we're going. This is our corporation here.
Well, I read an article a while back saying that like a lot of like the Gen Z
Speak
kids
up.
or whatever are like starting to
Mhm.
watch anime because of all this like woke shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and yeah, that's why a lot of people's talking about the Marvels. But then again, there's some people who are saying, hey, from the reports that hey, that there's not that much feminism shit like in there at all. Like, Nick Fury wasn't, belittled, disrespected. You know what I mean? Made looking less than. He was, was none of that in there. So that's what I was told. But like I said, I'm only 5 minutes into that shit, and I plan on watching that shit tonight. So as I'm also trying to watch UFC 295, which was what last night or the other night. So I got so much badass shit going on. So that I got cover. Blue Eye Samurai, and I'm thinking about checking out this new movie. I don't know if y'all heard it's coming out. I think via through Netflix. It's called Rebel Moon.
Okay. Not sure what
Yeah,
that is.
it's
I've
like a
never
little.
heard of it.
It seemed like some sci-fi kind of movie. So, for what I've seen in a little clip, it seemed pretty decent.
Has anybody seen a new season of Black Mirror?
No, I never watched not one season of that. I've been hearing about it for some time now.
Yeah, I seen it a while ago.
Mm.
Kev was saying something. What's up, Kev? What's on your mind?
Yeah. I was about to read Arya's comment because Hybrid said something to the effect that same thing, except for he was saying that he was reading manga and that he was telling people that he was reading hentai and he would get weird looks. And then now Arya's saying, I remember the time I mistook anime for hentai in my 20s and telling people that I watched 8 hours of hentai. Oh boy, yeah, we gotta, I mean, I guess the
It's
two would be easy
possible.
to get confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen up, man. I'm about to, I'm about to call this a wrap. So let's get some final statements in, and then I am out. What's good?
Nah, so I had a feeling, boy, he's about ready to wind it down. So yes, I'm glad to come up, man. Damn it, man. I wish Charles was on because I was gonna talk shit to both of y'all about this whole Goku business. And yes, one versus a million, and that's my motto. And Goku needs to be on the shelf of the Hall of Fame of anime.
The Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay, I think he already in there, but
Like he needs like no Hall of Fame means the Hall of Famers don't come back out and play ball. No, they stay there on the shelf. Yeah, that's what he needs. He needs to stay
yeah, I don't know, man. I think he still got a lot left in the tank.
there.
That's just me though.
I mean, well, you say you seen something like you shouted out some name and told us to look it up. Yeah, I seen something on there where Goku like had this form or whatever, this outfit on where he's like some uh I don't know, mix between like Egyptian and Indian kind
Yeah,
of look.
sometimes you gotta watch. Sometimes you gotta watch that stuff because a lot of people be doing a lot of fan art.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, but it be in the clips though, and and it looks like it's originally drawn, but then again, this AI shit. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, AI. Yeah, AI is a motherfucker. Uh, yeah, but
But no, that's my last statement, bro. Shit, I appreciate it, man.
word, word. Thanks for coming up. Anyone else?
All right, bro.
Yeah, I'm going next. Appreciate you having me up. Good conversation. Peace, everybody.
Word. See Charles D. Curry in the chat, and see Nightish down there as well. Was good. So, Ed Ombre.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come up. Great show. And if these movies really do suck, maybe we could get a think tank together and try to come up with an IP. Do our own little film, maybe independent. See what happens. Because Hollywood, I mean, the public is they're starving for something new and something that doesn't push this identity politics, uh, pronouns bullshit. So it's just a thought. Maybe we could, brainstorm that shit.
I don't know, yeah, but before I leave, though, brother kid, thanks for having me on. But yeah, check out that Gen V. Within the first 10 minutes of the episode, and I've seen some crazy shit that I've never seen. I would thought to see in some Japanese gory, like bloody triple X rated anime, and yeah. So I don't know if you guys seen it. I'm not gonna say nothing, but yeah, check it out. The reviews coming
What's
for that.
called? Chainsaw? What's called?
It's called Gen V, and it's a spinoff of the show The Boys.
Okay. Okay.
So all right, though, brothers. Peace out.
All right. If everybody's finished, I'll go ahead and make my final statement.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. Reality. Friggin' thing to deal with. and I'm tired, y'all. So, so just remember what I said because I said it, and uh, that's what it is at the end of the day. Just want to be sure that if you are taking what I'm saying as advice, is more so good than it is bad, and that's what um that's what it is. Just let's yeah, I'm real sleepy. I'm sorry. I'm kind of stumbling through this, but I'll just go
Hmm.
ahead and just do this. Y'all have a good week. Y'all have a good week. Have a great week. I hope if you are working a job that you get a raise or a promotion, or if you're running a business, you hit some type of stride that's going to make you a lot of money and get your product out there. But it's all well and good. That's all I'm saying. So that's it for now. Long live the habitual line steppers and Kev we trust. And when you don't give up, you win. See y'all tomorrow night, possibly. Peace out.